what I did and have QC Kinetics get you moving again without surgery and without medication. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative cellular treatments for joint pain. This is an all-natural approach that harnesses your own body's healing properties to treat the root cause of your arthritic pain. Why am I so adamant about QC Kinetics? Because I had the joint pain in my neck fully relieved by them, and I want you to experience similar relief in your joints. QC Kinetics protocols took my stiff neck and returned it to normal motion. And like me, you can have real lasting relief from chronic joint pain without drugs, without surgery, and no downtime. The consultation, it's absolutely free, and they have clinics in Superior, Aurora, Highlands Ranch, and Colorado Springs. Call them today, 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986. Call QC Kinetics today. That's 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986.
This report is sponsored by the Tutor Dixon podcast.
Plenty of sunshine for your Halloween. Temperatures today reaching into the upper 50s with light breeze. Tomorrow we're in the low 60s, hanging out there through the weekend. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Team meteorologist Kylie Burse.
Zachary Levi starred in the TV series Chuck and the film Shazam, and he's also taken a major risk now in Hollywood. He's endorsed Donald Trump. Zachary joins the next episode of the Tutor Dixon podcast. Check it out on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free. Never sounded so good.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. In Philadelphia, a hearing on the legality of Elon Musk's $1 million a day sweepstakes is now over. The hearing anyway. Musk, who supports Donald Trump, had been ordered to appear and testify about the contest, which may be breaking election rules. John Summers with the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office says, though.
This morning, D.A. Krasner was here to testify. Elon Musk didn't show.
Trump is headed to the Southwest today, and so is Kamala Harris, says ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers.
She's heading out west today to make those stops in Arizona and in Nevada. And when you look at her schedule in this final sprint to Election Day, this is it. This is her big focus on those two states before traveling back to Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, North Carolina in the final days.
The Commerce Department reporting a key inflation gauge has dropped to just above the Fed's target rate. Consumer prices rising only 2.1% from a year ago. Tomorrow we find out jobs numbers for October. This is ABC News. North Korea launching its first test missile in more than a year of a missile that could possibly hit the U.S. mainland.
The operations director of the South Korean Joint Chiefs of Staff says despite our military's repeated warnings, North
Testing
Korea
1, 2, 3, 4,
continues its illegal
on.
provocations. The North, he adds, will bear full responsibility for any consequences that could arise. It comes after Pyongyang launched an intercontinental ballistic missile for the first time in almost a year, at a time when Washington warns of North Korean troops heading toward Ukraine. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
The lack of any real rain for weeks in the Northeast forcing football fans to change their tailgating. MetLife Stadium, home to both the New York Giants and the New York Jets, now saying since things are so dry in the surrounding
You sound fabulous.
wood or charcoal fires at tonight's Jets game or Sunday's Giants game, propane stoves are still okay. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
That's going to be a windfall for you.
When disaster strikes, keeping in touch with family and friends and reaching public safety officials is critical. To prepare for power outages caused by severe weather or other conditions, you should create an emergency communication plan. First, check important cell phone contacts, including doctors, veterinarians, utilities, and insurance companies, and note local non-emergency numbers. Store at least one contact as in case of emergency, and make sure that person knows if you have medical issues. Also, make sure everyone in your house knows how to text. Check backup batteries for all your phones and fully charge cell phones, batteries, and rechargers. Sign up to receive mobile phone alerts. Backup and print out.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
Secretary of State Jenna Griswold says the investigation continues into how a spreadsheet with partial voting system passwords was uploaded to her agency's website.
I want to make sure that we're transparent. I want to be very clear of what happened.
We are being very clear on the level of threat, which is we do not have a serious threat. And of course, I take all responsibility for what the employees in my agency do.
Some Republicans have called for Griswold to resign. She says there are layers of security with the election process, and instead of having a conversation about those layers of security, the conversation is about the partisan witch hunt Colorado Republicans want to pursue. 2 men now face attempted murder charges in a shooting that wounded Broncos receiver Josh Reynolds and 2 others. Reynolds was driving home from Shotgun Willie's when 2 people following him on I-25 opened fire. Reynolds suffered minor injuries. Police say 42-year-old Burr Charlesworth and 35-year-old Luis Mendoza face a host of felony charges. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Norton 360.
Got a pretty decent ride across our highways this morning. We got a few pockets of slowing to watch for out here. Southbound I-25, a little backed up I-70 down to Spear. Nothing out of the ordinary there on that downtown drive. No slowing for northbound I-25 Tech Center to downtown and even up through Adams County. Southbound 225, a little heavy along the spillway, both sides of 270. Running a little sluggish as you make your way to Vasquez. Got one crash working on the east side of town here. It's actually the westbound lanes of Hamden approaching Parker. A little jammed up in there. Denver weather for today, mostly sunny skies and a high up to 58. Right now we've warmed up to 40 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Aaron O'Neill, 630 KHOW.
Outsmart cybercriminals this October with Norton 360. For Cybersecurity Awareness Month, Norton 360 offers a software updater feature to reduce vulnerabilities. Get comprehensive protection and up to 58% off your first year at norton.com/secure.
Because inflation made everything expensive.
Groceries, utilities,
everything. You need Inflation Salvation. Yes! 9 chances a day to win $1,000. Listen weekdays 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. on Denver's Talk Station 630 KHOW. Presented by Wind River Spas.
Couples are often divided when it comes to temperature, so Wind River engineered the Contrast 8 Therapy Spa. It's the only tub that combines the therapeutic heat of a Wind River spa with the refreshing feel of a cold plunge. Build and price yours at windriverspas.com.
As we turn our attention to friends and family in cozy, warm homes, keep in mind Plumline Services with plum crazy deals on new Carrier furnaces or honest repairs and service. You'll love Plumline's mission of excellence, character, and ethics, and top quality brands like Carrier, serving Castle Rock to Fort Collins. Plumline and Carrier, turn to the experts. 25 years strong. PlumlineServices.com. Service at home. Servants at heart.
We need your help to protect your right to AM radio in your car. AM is always there in times of need with the key information for our community. The overwhelming majority of legislators support a bill to keep AM radio in cars, but time is running out. Please text the 2 letters AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now. Text AM to 52886.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month. Text stop to stop. A message from the station.
Denver's Talk Station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. That's credit. Enter it now at KHOW.com. Inflation Salvation on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off. Bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. And we are here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, make your life a little easier. There's Marky Poo at the bottom right of your screen if you're streaming us.
What is up, fellow garbage?
Hey, fellow garbage. Oh, he starts right out. My God. Anyway, welcome, fellow garbage. And listen, speaking of, and by the way, there's a lot of election news. And when I talk elections and politics, I'm not talking about people here. Mark, I'll leave that to Mark. But the Supreme Court did do something that was courageous at the last minute. They cleared the way for Virginia to block those 1,600 non-citizens from the voter rolls. These people were admittedly not citizens. They registered. The state took them off the voting rolls. Democrats took the state to court, claiming that they should be able to vote. And
You can't make this crap up.
The federal judge said, yes, you must put them back on the voting rolls, even though they are illegal. One of the things he cited was it's too soon to the election. It's within 90 days or whatever. I don't know, some rule he had in his brain. Then the governor took some emergency action. They took it to the Supreme Court, who reversed that decision. Now, what they did say is they will be taken off the voter rolls, and then the matter will be taken up after the election. So what I don't understand is, let's say the election came down to these votes, 1,600 votes. Could you imagine? And then the Supreme Court has to decide after the election if they're going to count those votes. They did a movie one time, I don't know if you ever saw this, where one guy was the deciding vote for some reason. It was a movie. You look it up.
Oh, I saw that. I think it was that dude in Canada. I forget the actor's name, but I remember
swing
that.
Vote. Kevin Costner.
One vote. I don't know how they wrote that scenario, but they did. So in real election,
yeah, I do remember that. Hey, what did you think? Was it Julia Roberts that came out in the commercial for Kamala that says, if you're a woman, just vote for Harris and lie to your husband about it? It is the craziest commercial I have ever heard. I got to say this. If you've got to lie to your spouse about who you're voting for, I would say your marriage has much bigger problems than the voting itself.
So that's a good point. The Supreme Court did, though, say you take them off the rolls. But around the country, this is what I don't understand. And maybe a registered Democrat, and by the way, if you call in, I'll mute Mark, because I want you to tell me why you believe the official, it seems to be the official stance, because around the country, they're fighting to prevent identification at the polls and to allow non-citizens to vote.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's exactly why they opened the border. I mean, everybody knows that, Tom. There's no, this isn't some.
But I want to know why. I want a Democrat to call, with all due respect, I will give them, and I, honest to God, want them to tell me why they believe non-citizens should vote. I really want them to tell me. Now, by the way, I have some other.
Wait a minute. Democrats and Republicans, everybody included in the country, 83% believe you should be a citizen in order to vote, and we should have stronger.
But the ones fighting
rules
against it are exclusively, the ones fighting for non-citizens to vote are exclusively Democrats, where
it's the squad people, man. It's the people that
so
follow
it's
the squad.
You're saying it's even a minority of the Democrats.
It's a very small minority of the Democrat Party,
good.
And it's not fair to label them all.
No, good. Okay, yes, Doc, and I want to go to the calls. Wilbert, Caitlin, Dan, go ahead.
When we get a chance, we need to talk about the ballots and how difficult it is to understand the proposition.
I want to go through those amendments and propositions, because those are the ones where, whether you're Democrat or Republican, you want what's best, you think. So we're going to go through that, and it's not personality based. Wilbert, let's talk to you first about your power steering issue from yesterday. Wilbert, what's going on, sir?
Hey, Tom.
As I remember, Sheridan Auto Tech was going to take a look at it for you. You had a power steering one out in a 2012 Chevy Malibu. You took it to a shop. It's been there 3 weeks. They're claiming they have to reprogram this the steering module they put in. Go ahead.
Okay, so I called them yesterday and I said, "This is Wilbert with the Chevy Malibu. What is the situation with my car?" And they said, "Well, Mr. Gregory, we're very sorry. We couldn't really repair your car, and the parts that we put on there to fix it, it wasn't registering right, or it wasn't.
They're just. I think they're lying to you because they did a wall job on you. That's where they park it up against the wall and they forgot about it. So are you going to pick it up?"
Yeah, so they told me, well, you can pick it up today. And before I hung up, they told me, well, just yesterday, you can pick it up tomorrow. We'll put it back together, and you can pick it up. So it's probably something you have to take to the dealer.
You can take to Kevin Kalkin, Sheridan Auto Tech. Really, he came on and said, "Look, Tom, This is routine. I know what it is. And he said, I'll even take a look at it free of charge. He's on Colfax, west of Wadsworth, 303-455-7242. So what about it?
Okay. I'll take it there. And then I said, before I hung up, I said, you're not going to charge me for this, are you? And then the guy said, well, we put a lot of work into that car, sir, but you're going to have to take that up with the owner.
Oh, come on, man. Oh, are you kidding me? They didn't repair it. They put a lot of work into it, and they didn't do it right, and they want to charge you? I doubt that. What's the name of this shop?
It's called Autotech.
Autotech. And where is that? Is that on Arapahoe?
No, it's on. Where it's in Aurora.
Do they spell that T-E-K? Do they spell that T-E-K?
I think they spell it T-E-C-K. Yeah, Autotech, something like that.
No, T-E-K. I think I know. Listen, call us back, please, and let us know what's going on with that one. 303-713-8255. Caitlin, an issue with a car dealership. What's going on with you, Caitlin? Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi. What's going on? Yes, Caitlin. What's happening?
Hi. So I have a really bad situation with a car dealer.
What happened?
So I currently live in Montana. I'm from Colorado. And I had a friend going down to Salt Lake City, and so I went down there to look at this one car I had seen on Facebook Marketplace. And I had even told them when I was there, so my dad was killed in Afghanistan. It was back in 2011, and I told them that, I'm hoping just for transparency, like on the vehicle, and they ended up, I realized afterwards, taking advantage of me. It was soon after I purchased the vehicle.
What did you look at? What did you look at in Salt Lake City? What kind of car?
It's a 2008 Honda CR-V, it had like around 134,000 miles on it.
Yeah, you're always going to have trouble. You're always going to have trouble over 100,000. It's not if. You will have trouble. It may not be serious, but you're going to have trouble. And over 150, you're going to have serious problems. And over 200, the car's going to be trashed. No matter what. I don't care where you buy it. 1 in 100, no, 1 in maybe 1,000 might turn out not that way. So here's what I want to know. Did you have it checked out by a shop while you were there in Salt Lake City?
They had told me that they had it checked out by a shop and that they were telling me what the shop had said.
Oh, come on. So, okay, tell me what happened. Did you buy it and take it home to Montana?
I did, and so what I'm saying is, as I was driving it back to Montana, then I guess they must have cleared the dash lights, so these dash lights came on. I took it to a shop up here. They said the car is actually completely unsafe to drive. The airbag system needs replaced, and the seatbelt doesn't work. So they've had previously deployed. I looked up Carfax and everything, and I had actually asked them, in writing, about if that was repaired, and they said it was. But it's over $3,000 to fix.
What did you pay for the car?
I bought the car for $7,500 plus a $499 dealer fee.
It was a dealer you went to?
Yes.
You went to a dealer, and okay, so when you were driving home, which lights came on?
The tire light and the airbag light.
Okay.
And
listen.
I had asked him specifically about the airbag, and he told me that the airbag system was fine.
I know, but okay. So here's what's going to happen, and you're going to see it on your contract. If we call the dealer for you and say, why did you do this to Caitlin? You told her, she specifically asked about the airbag light. She specifically asked about this. She specifically asked about that. And they're going to say, no, she didn't. That's one. Or they're going to say, well, we thought it was okay. That would have been acceptable too, either one of those. Or they might say, have her look at the contract for the 2 words, as is. Did you see those words on your contract?
I did.
But
yeah.
the purpose of this call is not to make you feel bad, Caitlin. It's to let everyone know the common mistakes we hear every single day on buying a used car. Now, if it's going to cost $3,000, are you sure you're not being taken advantage of? Did you get someone to truly look at that car, and did you get a second opinion?
I went to 2 different mechanics.
So had you done that in Salt Lake, there's a good chance you would have found this out before you bought it.
Yeah, the issue was I was in a rush because my friend needed to leave out of Salt Lake pretty quickly, so she needed to know whether or not she could drop me off or not. So I had a shorter time to.
And you drove it home. And
check out the
how is it
vehicle.
running right now?
So I also need to get new tires on it, which.
Well, tires.
But then also like a stabilizer I need to get fixed as well. And there were a couple things I knew I was going to need to get fixed on it.
Caitlin, here's what you need to do at this point.
Fine.
You're not going to. The name of the dealer down there, who is it?
It's Wright Auto Sales.
WR or RIGHT?
Yeah, WRIGHT.
WRI. Wright Auto Sales. And did you call them? Hold on, let me take a break. I want to know what they told you. Let's see what we can find out or do, or any recommendations we might have for you. By the way, I'm really sorry your dad was killed in action. Very, very sorry. I didn't want to gloss over that. We'll be back with more on the Troubleshooter Show, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. 888heating.com, the Extreme Clean. Get it done. The Extreme Clean. They will do your deep clean for $45. You know I tout these cleanings only from a couple companies that truly get the dirt out. 888heating.com. Also, we have Red Rocks Roof and Solar with us. If you get a solar system and you have 888 Heating do one of these systems for you, you can actually put that in the whole total for a tax credit. 888heating.com.
Yep. If addiction, trauma, depression, or anxiety are making you feel alone, the Raleigh House is here for you. With 2 locations in Denver, our team of professionals at the Raleigh House provides a premium level of care, offering both inpatient and outpatient services. The Raleigh House can meet you where you're at. Our substance abuse and mental health services at the Raleigh House can provide a place where you can reconnect, find your purpose, and heal. Call 720-797-8717 to get the help you need. That's the Raleigh House, 720-797-8717.
Genesis, TotalExteriors.com. Genesis, Mark Szymanski. I know him very, very well and his family. He is a great guy. And in this business, you truly need somebody you can trust in home improvements. So let's talk about the end of season, what people should be looking at their homes, because Genesis does everything on the outside of your house, and even mold inspections and mitigations. Mark, what should people be looking for right now?
I tell you, Tom, it's not too late to start even look at the outside of your house. I mean, right now we had that snowstorm, we had a little bit of bad weather, but I tell you what, it's not too late to look at the outside of your house to see if you need paint, if you need new windows, if you need new siding. This is the time to still take a look at your house and make sure that everything is shipshape before the really bad weather does hit. I tell you, Tom, I stopped today at Alpine Window. You know, that window's made right here in Colorado.
Yes.
Up in Louisville. What an amazing product. One of the most energy-efficient windows on the market. And we are now also carrying the Alpine Window at Genesis Total Exteriors also.
Okay, that is wonderful to know. And, of course, Mark, you're always on the forefront of good stuff, and he's honest and runs a great business, has been with me for many, many years. So let's call Genesis, TotalExteriors.com at 303-679-8509. That's 303-679-8509, including, of course, I call it the Lifetime Siding, Align Siding, 303-679-8509. Hey, you've heard me say there is no one investment, good or bad, for anyone. Now, Become the Banker, which is Joe Chiano and his team of financial planners. Joe has this product. Somebody asked me about it. They said, Tom, I'm coming into a lump sum of money. What if I bought a single premium life insurance policy and I have cash value right off the bat, can I use that cash value to buy stuff for myself and then pay myself back, thereby adding more to my account by charging myself interest? The answer is yes. That is the magic of overfunding life insurance. It's a trick a lot of people have been doing. It's legal, and it builds up a cash nest egg, tax deferred. In fact, Joe can tell you how to get it out tax-free. BecomeTheBanker.org. 303-779-6600. All right.
If that happened,
Yep, that's him.
if that happened, then I am.
Dude, you were breaking up, man.
Is Marky up there?
It was bad.
I was breaking up.
Yep.
I was. What happened?
It's like somebody in the house was downloading Batman or something.
Nothing I can do about it. If that's the case,
then
Mark better be ready, because if we're having bad issues, I can't think of anything here. Everything's reading solid. So what was I breaking up? My voice was breaking up?
Understood.
What do you think it was, Shannon?
Yeah,
from
the
your
connection.
Huh?
Just a sudden surge somewhere in
Mark,
probably your internet, because, or it could have been ours. It
Mark,
could
your
have been in the
cam,
building.
oh, there
I
you
don't
go.
know
You're
if,
back
like,
on. Okay.
Who knows? Camera stuff, video, large amount of video going through.
I know.
Who knows?
I know. It could be the Biden syndrome.
Man, sure. Or somebody downloading a lot of nude Kamala photos from.
That's Mark. Mark's got a Jones for her. I don't know why, but he does. He just does. And we have Deputy Bo and Ken morons in the studio.
For who?
Bo. Hey, Deputy Bo, Deputy Doc.
Yes.
Are you guys ready?
Hi, Tom.
Hey, man.
No, compared to what?
No.
Reach around comes to mind. Okay,
Ready.
we got Deputy D here in the house.
Heavy D. We all love the D.
We love the D. You know, it's funny how my kids' cell phones only work when I don't call them or text them, but for everyone else, they work great. I don't understand it. I've never heard of so many texts not going through. Mark, what are you showing on your camera? I'm not sure he wants to show it.
That's Real Clear Politics, where Trump is leading basically everywhere.
Okay, good. I'm glad you did that. Hold on. I'm going to bring that up. Now, let me bring that full screen. I can bring that full screen, you know. You don't have to do anything. I bring a full, wow, let's do that.
Please do not disconnect everything.
You don't have to do anything.
No, Mark, seriously, I'm going to bring it up. You talk about it when I bring it up. Right now, it's just, so I'll have it here.
Well, it's pretty...
It's impressive to bring it
Yeah,
up
but
at your age.
I want you to walk us through it for
Now,
people that
an
don't have it.
iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Waterpros.net, the best water systems, the lowest prices, and I mean that. Right now, the best holiday offer till the end of the year, $31.95 for both reverse osmosis drinking water and water softening. The whole house for water softening and reverse osmosis at the kitchen sink for drinking. The best deal ever anywhere in the marketplace, $31.95. Plumbers can't touch it for $12,000. 303-862-5554. 862-5554, waterpros.net. Now, Mark, as you see on the screen here, if you're streaming or downloading, hello, downloaders. And also, if you are, he's feeding us some video there. I'm going to transition to a full screen. It's a chart. And Mark, walk us through it. Is Mark there? Walk us through it. I don't hear him. Am I disconnected or what? Okay.
I think he might have stepped away.
Okay. Well, we have a chart there on Battleground States, and I can't decipher it live on the air because the screenshot's too small. But
I'm sorry about that. Listen.
Go ahead, Mark.
Basically, it's a chart from Real Clear Politics.
Yes.
And it goes over Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, all the swing states. Trump is way up in Georgia, up in Pennsylvania, up in North Carolina, up in Nevada, up in Arizona. The only thing where Harris is up is Michigan and Wisconsin, where she's only up by like 0.2. It's pretty remarkable.
Okay, so
Thomas,
let's go through, when we have a chance, some propositions as well. Put your camera back on. I want you to say hi to Brooke. Brooke's here today. Red Rocks Roof and Solar. I want to ask real quick here, Brooke. Is there any danger of tax credits going away for solar systems? I don't think either party would ever do that. That's my opinion. Have you heard anything?
No. Baby Bush is the one who started it in 2007, and then both parties have passed it on, and Trump extended it from 26% to 30%. So solar tax credits are a pretty safe bet.
Okay, cool. Do we have anything else that might be coming down the pike to make it? You said they're in Denver. They're actually requiring, or is it Colorado, for businesses to have systems, new business?
Yeah, Denver is requiring commercial projects, depending on the square footage size of the project, to have solar powering their business. So in 2026, 27, and 28, those requirements are going to be put in force. So if you don't have solar and you've got a commercial building in Denver,
even retroactively, or is that only new business?
Any building.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Any commercial
Holy
building.
crap. Mark, did you know that? That's any building?
It's the Denver Re-Energize.
I did, man.
Okay. All right,
initiative.
Now, let's go to the phones, 303-713-TALK. And so, Caitlin, you bought a car in Montana. You live in Montana. You went to Salt Lake City, Facebook Marketplace, Right Auto Sales, to look at a 2008 Honda CRV, 134,000 miles, $7,500. It's going to cost you now $3,000 or more to fix it. When she bought it, she was assured certain things. Of course, none of that matters. It's as is. Caitlin, just for the hell of it, did you call the dealer back?
So I had spoken to him last week on the phone. This was.
What did they say? Let's just talk about what they said. What did they say?
He was just terrible to deal with. He was really rude, started yelling at me on the phone.
Oh, that's too bad. Did he say as is?
He was saying that he's saying I'm trying. No, he was like, I'm trying to work with you. I'm trying to work with you.
Well, what does that mean? Okay, so what does that mean? I'm trying to work with you.
Yeah, exactly. Without.
What does it mean?
It didn't really mean anything.
All right, listen, I want Deputy.
He said when I took it in the next time.
Deputy Bo's in the studio. Deputy Bo, you want to make a quick call to the dealership?
I'll take care of it, Tom.
Now, I don't know what
on the burners.
Okay, whoever you want. Caitlin, I don't know what we can do, but we can give him a call. What? Meanwhile, when you're in a situation like this, did you pay for this car in full?
I did.
Okay. When you're in a situation like this, sometimes it's not ideal, but sometimes what you do is you go to a reputable dealer and you say, please go through this with a fine-tooth comb and tell me what I need to do to make it safe and reliable, including fluids, belts, hoses, and everything. Now, I know this sounds terrible, but let's say you come up with, and we did the math once already with this when I had a car expert in, and it's called taking the sting out of a mistake. So let's say that car, what year is it? Did you say it's 08? So even though it's an 08, and it's a Honda CRV, so let's say there's no major problems, and you can fix that up for even $4,000 or $5,000. Now that's terrible. That's unheard of. But if you could get a loan and do it, or even do it over a 3-year period, invest a little at a time as you have it, you may be better off than trying to get rid of it and losing money and then trying to get something else. What I mean is you could actually make it, unless it is a major piece of crap, you can maybe salvage the deal, but you'll be in it for more money, but it'll be at least a car that you know is dependable because you did the work. So that is a glimmer of hope. Now, my question, is it a total piece of crap?
I don't think so. I mean, other things mechanically seem okay with it. It's just the airbags and the seatbelt at this point that are the main.
How's the body like?
Which would be, it's fine. There's no rust. Everything that I could check out myself seemed fine. The brakes are fine.
Okay.
Like
so
everything else is fine.
I'm going to have Bo see if they would chip in anything at all or do anything for you at all. If they would rescind the deal, fine. But if you can make a car okay and it'll last you, it might be worth doing a credit card or do it, now and then. Like I said, you don't have to do everything at once, but you do the most critical stuff and you finance it and just pay it off as soon as possible. And that's the best advice. But right now, Bo, let's see what they say to you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Dan, what is your issue with CenturyLink, Dan? What's going on? Yes, sir.
My issue is with CenturyLink. I'm moving. I sold my house, bought a new house. They don't have Comcast. The only thing we could use for internet there is CenturyLink.
I love CenturyLink.
Yeah, so I'm fine. But CenturyLink, they can't install my internet until January.
Oh my goodness!
And I
do you have a 5G? Do you have a 5G phone?
Yeah.
You can take that 5G phone with a hotspot, and it's pretty damn good.
Yeah. What about my television?
You can actually run it. I've done it. I mean, you actually can. You can do a hotspot, and
you would run through a hotspot so fast.
Okay. Well, we have.
You have true. You have true 5G, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Do you have hotspot? Do you have a hotspot on it?
No. What I use is
this is Deputy D talking now. Deputy D, go ahead.
So I have Verizon's home internet 5G service, and it only cost me $25 a month because I signed up for it at the same time I got a new phone. And there is no data limit, and I can stream movies without any interruption or drop in quality. It's amazing.
What do you have?
It's called Verizon. It's called Verizon's 5G home internet service, and it's like a big square antenna that I put in my window.
No fooling.
Oh, I've used it for 3 years.
What does it cost you?
$25 a month, unlimited data.
Wait a minute. And for $25 a month, you like the service?
I love it. I used to use a wired.
That could be a solution for us at the station, Mark.
Dude, it's now if you don't have Verizon's cell phone service, it's much more expensive. But it's only like $80 or $90 a month. But it's $25 for me. They haven't changed the price in, I would say, 3 years that I've been using it.
No fool.
Oh, it's a miracle.
T-Mobile has is $35 or $49 a month, and apparently it works good. I tried it at our house, but it didn't work out here.
No, Mark, not at all. Huh?
I have Verizon.
Oh man! Well, why don't you look into it?
Go to their store. Go to their
store. They said they don't have home internet service in my area.
Nah, that doesn't sound right.
Come on.
No.
Does your Verizon phone work there?
Yeah.
Then this will work.
It will work. Look, here.
You talk to a moron. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to insult my YouTube morons. They're not.
Where do you live, man?
Thornton.
Oh, yeah. Just go to the Verizon store, not the authorized dealer, but the actual Verizon company-operated store, and tell them you're looking for that home internet service box.
Yes.
I'll try it out.
What's the official name again? What's the official name?
Well, on my bill, it appears as Verizon Home Internet Service.
Verizon.
That's what they call it.
And it comes on your cell bill?
Yeah, they just added it. So it's $25 plus all the junk taxes. But they never changed the price. I expected, like with Quest, they used to raise my price all the time. Unlimited data.
All right, so there you go, bro. Just see what happens. Let us know. Now, Brett, I hope you can hang on. He has a comment for Caitlin. Please hang on. I got to take this break or I'm going to be beat up.
Sure. This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by LifeLock.
Got a pretty decent ride across our highways this morning. We got a few pockets of slowing to watch for out here. Southbound I-25, a little backed up I-70 down to Spear. Nothing out of the ordinary there on that downtown drive. No slowing for northbound I-25 Tech Center to downtown and even up through Adams County. Southbound 225, a little heavy along the spillway, both sides of 270. Running a little sluggish as you make your way to Vasquez. Got one crash working on the east side of town here. It's actually the westbound lanes of Hamden approaching Parker. A little jammed up in there. Denver weather for today, mostly sunny skies and a high up to 58. Right now we've warmed up to 40 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Aaron O'Neill, 630 KHOW.
As Cybersecurity Awareness Month wraps up, remember to update your software to fix security issues that identity thieves exploit to steal personal info. And for comprehensive identity theft protection, choose LifeLock. Start your 30-day free trial today at lifelock.com/cybersafety.
It's open enrollment, the time to select health insurance. It's the time we have to buy it. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get it through the year except for very special circumstances. And if health insurance is important to you, Integra Insurance can help you through the maze of offers, whether it be a supplement for your Medicare or Medicare Advantage or conventional policies on or off the exchange with high deductibles, low deductibles, tax credits, or whatever. They can help you. They are great people. You save money with them. Health insurance made simple and smart. 303-466-5500.
Power.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How much time do I have?
Basically 4.
Okay, I'm going to go get.
You don't have to come back.
Oh, shut up. Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't. Let me just make sure Mark's up and running. Okay, Mark's up. Tell him not to scratch his balls. He's up.
Even if you came over, you're not a mechanic.
You got to get my volume figured out, dude.
Who are you talking to, me or him?
Okay, listen.
Thomas.
Okay, honest to goodness, Shannon, I feed the YouTube. I feed the YouTube channel with my stuff here. Okay, this is what goes out to. Okay, I have it cranked up all the way. Are you telling me it is impossible? It can't be impossible to boost a return level when you're out and about on remotes. You're telling me the station cannot boost the return.
I'd have to go down to the basement and physically turn it.
Well, is that going to be a big problem?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it works for every other remote.
I mean, so then they turn it down on their end. I mean, it's just.
I'm not going to make repeated trips to the basement for something.
I'm not saying repeated. I'm not saying repeated. If you turned it up, then all we would have to do is turn down an IFB when you're on a remote.
Yeah, no, I'm not changing it because you have the ultimate power there with one knob on the NX that is the return.
But it's cranked all the way.
Huh. Well, then something else must be at play because we send out the same volume on all of these things. And I get there and I'm doing a remote.
but not everyone's streaming to YouTube. We're not talking about a problem with return. We're talking about a problem with YouTube.
I work at a radio station, and when I send audio, when I get audio back from the radio station at a remote, which I do upwards of 7 times a week, sometimes these spots are too effing loud, and we have to take off our headsets. So I know that what the station is sending out is plenty good.
All right. So then going to YouTube is the issue. I don't doubt
I'm not involved in that part. I love you, but I'm not. I cannot be on video. Too many people would recognize me.
And let me predict what's going to happen.
And they'd run away.
I'm going to predict what's going to happen because I did it before, but I'm going to try it again. I'm serious now. Okay. I want to turn up. I'm going to turn it up all the way on, and then they're going to say I sound robotic. If I don't mean turn up. It is cranked up all the way on the NX. I'm talking about in my OBS studio. I'll crank it up as loud as I can.
Yeah, I wish I had advice there. I don't. And I obviously.
Oh, wait a minute. Thing. Let's see.
Use the Comrex.
Let's see. I'll try this.
I'm using a Windows Surface.
I'm going to try something else here.
Rhodes.
Testing 1, 2. I'm going to try something. I just want to try something.
Testing.
Keep going, Mark.
Testing. We are all garbage. We're a big pile of garbage.
I'm going to see what happens.
Garbage.
Basura.
We are garbage.
I found a control here that lets me boost.
Big floating pile of garbage.
I just want to try this and see what happens. If I sound like crap, they'll tell me in a second here.
Yep.
All right.
Testing.
Now, I turned you away.
I hear the echo.
You do? See?
Well, that's Mark hearing himself back, or the callers hearing themselves back.
Hello.
I turned it up.
Hold on. No echo now, right?
Nope.
No, you sound good.
Oh, you won't hear it, Tom.
Okay, ask our morons. Ask our morons if that volume's better for you, Mark.
Okay.
Well, we will right after we go back, yeah.
Well, I mean...
Well,
okay.
even now.
Yeah, they're on streaming.
Yeah.
Hey, morons, how's the volume now?
If you are one of
Sounds
our
good, says News
viewers and
Junkie.
listeners on.
Yep, 2 of them said no echo.
Dave H says it's fine.
Pay attention to the road, JR.
I want to take a call from out and about, but I don't want to be in a trash hump. Dump
It should be in a trash. We're all
Commerce
garbage,
City.
dude.
I want someone to call in with some interesting video.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Brett has a comment on Caitlin. Caitlin bought a car in Salt Lake City. She lives in Montana. She she went all the way down there to get the car, drove it home. Lights came on. She's got about $3,000 to $4,000 worth of work she has to do. She bought it as is, even though she says, in the world famous words, the infamous words, and I have to do a post on this, I made it clear, or I specified, or they said, or they guaranteed, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead, Brett.
The only thing I have is, if I'm not mistaken, when you put an airbag and a seatbelt with regards to the sale of a car, that becomes a life safety issue that falls back onto the dealer providing an unsafe car to put back on the road, somewhat like a service engine light not being able to get.
Okay. We were told 1,000,000 times by Norris when he had his SOS, right, Mark? He would say that legally you can't sell a car that is unsafe for the road, right? Remember that, Mark? Yet
that's true.
Yet we could find not one person, not one in the state, not one anywhere that would enforce it, nor have we ever seen that law enforced anywhere at any time. So, if Utah, by the way, because that's where it was, if Utah has such a law, what she needs to do is go to the Utah Attorney General or to a district attorney or someone who's going to enforce that law. And I'm going to tell you right now, no one is going to enforce the law. Now, she can enforce the law by using it. It's called negligence per se, meaning you broke the law, so you're negligent. So I'm going to sue you and use the law as my evidence.
That's right.
Okay, so, Brett, we're right back to suing. You see what I'm saying? The law makes it a little easier. Technically, there could be a law that says that. There could be. So it's a good comment, but still puts her in a bad position. In other words, I would contend it's easier for her to make the repairs than to go through that brain damage. So that's where we stand with that. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. All right, I'm getting a lot of texting here, and guess who it's about? Oh, it's about Mark. Okay, I'm not going to read everyone, but I'm going to say they're 8-2 in favor of everything he's saying. We must have a very conservative audience here. And then it says here, one guy said the Virginia voting situation, the Democrats' extreme racism shines again. Like when Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black, by assuming illegal aliens will vote for them. That is in itself racist.
God, I have said that forever. When he told black people that they're not black if they don't vote for him, I could not believe there wasn't more of an uproar. I mean, how...
Here's what I want to know, and I want to hear this. I want to hear this not from any white people. I want to hear this from blacks. I want to hear this from African Americans. I want to hear this from people directly, if you can call me. Do you resent when Democrats use you like a pawn, assuming if you're black, you're Democrat, that you don't look at the issues, that you don't care about the issues, that they have you in the pocket? Do you find, I would find that, I would be resentful for it. I want to know.
Boy, you would sure think so.
Now, I'm listening to the podcast. This is one of our many, many thousands and thousands. The podcast is, to truth be told, more popular than all of our audience put together. I cannot believe the lies Doc and Mark are spewing. The government didn't go after Trump, you jackasses. The states did, because Trump did things wrong, whether you believe they were wrong or not. It wasn't weaponizing the Justice Department. Tell these two morons, no, I'm not going to call them morons. That's a badge of honor for our YouTube people, but tell these two people to get their facts straight and not spew misinformation all over the place.
What a jackass, whoever that is. Hey, jackass.
What I have learned is that most people in America are stupid. There you go. Okay, so that's one.
Hey, we're just garbage floating
Well,
out.
I'm reading these things, man. Let's say another one here. Okay, after yesterday, I'm pretty much over it. They can.
I remember during COVID, we would get those every day.
Hold on. I wish you the best in your journey. If you decide to never mind. Hold on. Is this who I think it is? Hold on. You owe us $690. What is this talking about? Who is this person? I'm pretty much over it. They can move forward however they want. I paid for what I got. I may have gotten an extra dose or two, but I'm not paying for it. I know what I got. I didn't steal any meds. Okay, so this guy, I guess, was being charged for some extra meds that he said he never got. He's not paying for them. Anyway, sorry about that. This one. Tom, please stop letting Drew on the air. He's a waste of time and no longer entertaining. We
did that yesterday.
The guy from Jersey. He's permanently banned from the show from now on. And then I was sent a YouTube of that Trump is...
How about him pulling up in that trash
That's exactly what we were just sent.
God, was that good.
And then...
Can you believe that Harris calling all of us? And, I realize her boss said it, but she works for him and feels the same way. But calling over half the country garbage, it's nuts. And then they try to walk it back like he didn't say it, like we're so stupid we can't actually watch a video and hear exactly what he said coming out of his own mouth. They're like, nope, wasn't me, didn't see anything here.
Real quick, another text. A registered electrician noticed on YouTube that my light was going on and off, and then it went out, and that was an LED that I only had for hundreds of hours, not thousands. It was relatively new. And he said, if you change an LED bulb with the power on, that'll ruin it. Somebody else says, if it's on a dimmer circuit and you dim, even if that bulb doesn't dim, you're killing it. So thank you for all your information. People were very concerned they couldn't see my pretty face when the lights went out. So right now, I don't have a Halloween costume on. So thank you for the joke I hear every year. Ho, 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 good costume. Anyway, we have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate.
Well, the good news is if you're just making your way out this morning, you're not going to really hit any significant slowing across these highways. We are in great shape out here, especially off that drive here along I-25, both directions between downtown and the tech center. It's going to take you about 15 minutes through there. I-70 wide open, heading across the city right now. 225 looks good, 50s and 60s as you're pushing through Aurora. They did manage to get that wreck cleared westbound Hamden at Parker. That interchange looking a lot better. Denver weather for today. We're looking at plenty of sunshine and a high up near 58 degrees right
Thank
now.
you for the
We're at 44. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Aaron O'Neill, 630 KHOW.
Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
I want to ask Brooke something real quick here. If somebody got windows as an insulating thing, new windows, could that be part of the entire thing, or you don't know when it comes to a solar system? Because I know if they put in a new heating system, they get to write off that.
Yeah, so typically for solar, it has to be tied to the electrical like the structure.
Okay,
but the windows would get the energy efficiency tax credit.
Okay, now, by the way, Gravina's Windows, they're great people. 950 West Evans. You know they've been on our referral list more than 20 years. You know, Nick blew us away with his knowledge. He took over for his dad, Larry, who started in 88. This is a tradition and a heritage most companies wish they had. They know everything about windows, 50 lines of windows. They also have doors. They also have siding. So check them out if you want great company with great heritage. That's GravinaWindows.com, 303-472-8462. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. What is a retirement plan? Well, it's taking all the elements you have and putting it together for good, for security, for safety when you retire. If you want to talk to them, they'd love to talk to you, and they'll explain what they do and how they do it and what it costs you and what they're saving you. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, 970-663-3211. Check out their website, rpcenter.com. That's 970-663-3211.
Thank you.
All right. Now, hold on. You ready?
Hey, Tom?
Yeah.
After the news, let's talk about some of these amendments and propositions.
Yeah, I know. We should.
I
I have some really good thoughts on these. I'm sure Mark wants to weigh in. We got it all here.
Hey, I just thought of something. I got to address that moron idiot piece of shit that was saying they were all state cases.
Oh, the ones against Trump?
Yeah,
Okay.
who the fuck does he think Jack Smith works for? That's the Department of Justice. Garland is the one that appointed the guy.
I am getting so much email from...
What a fucking turd.
No,
I call him a piece of garbage, but
hey, did
he's not.
morons, did the return audio improve for the audio over YouTube? Did it improve any? Because I did crank it a little on this OBS. I added some crank power. Okay, I'm going to put out that public link for people. I need to figure out...
What are you talking about?
I'm going to put out a public link on Instagram to call in.
Hey, Shannon, can you run down to the basement and turn the NX 7580 down 1/3 of a notch?
Yeah, that would be good.
Call came in 9:20.
1/3. Something new, askew.
That's like a wedding, right? Something old, something new.
Something borrowed, something blue.
Borrowed, something blue. I do hear an echo.
Yep.
Why?
He's feeding us back to us.
Holy shit, Tom.
She's not going to call.
I'm not feeding anything.
Do you hear
back.
an echo on YouTube, Suzanne?
I'm not feeding anything back to you.
Okay.
I'm so tired of you.
I hear an echo everywhere.
Well, that's good. And be that way.
It's not going out over the air like that, is it?
Only when there's a caller.
Are you serious?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God, I hear myself. Self.
Huh.
Well, I did crank up in OBS the return, but that doesn't, that shouldn't affect over the air.
Do you not hear an echo, Tom?
No.
He wouldn't hear an echo because it's coming from there. He wouldn't hear it.
Oh, my God, it is fucking annoying.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it made Kelly crazy, so I like
Did
it.
it only happen after I cranked this the volume and
K-How.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8462. 8255. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, let's go to the phones and find out what we can do for you. Diana.
Actually, it's a Deputy Bo update.
Okay, about Diana. Okay, Deputy Bo, what's going on?
So this is the case where I went out to that condo and was able to get a hold of the fire department, and the show was instrumental in rescuing this woman.
Oh, I remember. Okay, let's explain this. First and foremost, the daughter and some friends were concerned that they hadn't heard from this woman in a while. And they said, we can't get the police to do anything. We can't get anyone to do anything.
Or the HOA.
Or the HOA.
They wouldn't allow them to call.
So what made a difference when you called? Because the police weren't responding, or they were coming there looking in a window or listening through the door, but they wouldn't go in. What changed?
She called the show. So I believe the show was instrumental in saving this lady's life.
And I want to go over that coming up. We're running out of time, so hang on. I want to talk about how they broke in and what she's doing now. That's what I want to know about, because people are asking. I'm Tom Martino. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. 303-713-8255. Stick around.
Good stuff right there. That there is award-winning.
What?
Award-winning.
Okay, hold on. Is it still there, Mark?
No.
She's kidding. It is.
Okay.
It's very much there.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
I can say an entire sentence and I'll hear the entire thing.
Oh.
I have no idea. Honest to goodness,
It's
Mark.
all right. Don't change anything.
I mean, I don't.
Stop doing that to him.
Well, it didn't happen yesterday.
I know. Lately, but today's
Let me
a big
see
one.
something. Okay, I'm going to put my speaker to the mic. Listen.
Now say something.
Hello. Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Could you hear it?
I'm hearing what you told.
Could you hear it, Shannon?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, well.
You can all hear it still.
Tom, could you hear it when I put my headphones up?
I heard it faintly.
Oh, my God, it is so bad.
Well, I hear it now. Now.
Okay.
What am I hearing?
Okay. Hold on. I'm going to put my headphones up again.
No, you don't have to put
Hello?
your head.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear it echo?
Not now. I heard it actually before.
It's so bad.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me try something here.
We definitely are going to have to fix that, though. I can't even talk.
Okay.
Test.
So.
Test. Yeah,
Shannon,
it echoes like 4 times.
Now I hear it actually, but now I hear it a little, but I know you think I didn't change anything. I didn't change anything.
Oh, I haven't had this echo for. Oh, I have.
Should I disconnect and reconnect? I'm going to disconnect and reconnect. Okay.
Yeah.
Seriously. Okay. Bye. Testing. I just want to know. Hey guys, just tell me if I'm echoing right now alone, just me on YouTube, because I may not be on YouTube actually for them. Let me just see. I think I'm still streaming. So let me know right now, morons, before I reconnect. Let me know if you're hearing an echo right now. Can you still hear it right now? An echo right now? Yes? It's better. Okay, if it's better, when I go to the station, that's when you hear it. Okay, now I'm going to reconnect to the station. All right, I'm back on the station. Hello? What am I hearing? Why am I hearing laughter? Shannon? Shannon, are you there? Okay, hold on. Okay, I got to call Kelly. Kelly, when I read...
$1.6 million from 4 families, but never finished any
Now,
rebuilding work. They
am
also
I-
discovered
am I
that Scott
echoing
was
still?
not properly licensed to build.
What is that laughter shit? Come on, man.
That's not me.
Well, who's playing fucking laughter?
That's got to be Mark. Does he have a Rhodes?
We're on break.
Mark, are you playing any sound effects?
Okay,
He
sir.
had to have.
Sorry.
Hold on, I'm talking to Suzanne.
I want to make sure Mark is muted.
Can we do that for the rest of the show, Tom?
Yeah, we can.
I've even muted our mics.
Mute his ass.
Yeah, I have him muted over here.
Username and password and all that.
Yeah,
Now
we'll
he's
just set up
back out.
Splashtop.
Okay.
Testing 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4.
I'm here.
Yeah, good.
Yell
Echo.
again, Mark.
I don't hear it.
You don't?
Yeah, it's not as bad, but I hear it.
Well,
It barely
It's nowhere
there.
near as bad.
Right. I think it's that sort of stuff's always going to be there with how many loops this thing's making.
yeah. Like I said, though, seriously, my controls stayed the same, and I just reconnected. But
Understood. That could have been it.
Hey, Mark, it looked like the thing from the Munsters when all you could see was Suzanne's hand.
Oh, that's it, cousin it.
Right? No. What was the guy? What the hand was called? It?
Yeah.
I thought it was
Oh, okay.
it.
I don't
yeah.
remember. I
Thing,
thought it was
actually.
called.
But
Thing.
during that
Oh,
entire time, by the way,
You're right, thing. You're right.
during that entire time when we were talking about echoes and you were Mark last, so I got texts saying they were listening to radio and heard no echo, and I got other texts saying they were on YouTube and heard no echo. So I'm wondering if it's situational compared to the reception somewhere. I don't know.
I think. Well, I could hear it, and Shannon could hear it.
You were sending a little bit of us back to us. Not much, but a little bit of return
No, I know what
was
you're
coming
saying.
back to us.
Yeah, and I'm wondering.
Well, it was in
but
my ears. It was more than a little
Shannon, I'm in the mix minus thing though.
No, I understand. And however it was being created, if it was through OBS or through the NX, I doubt it was in the Rhodes, but it could be. I've had it happen on a remote where the Rhodes just decided to send the station back.
Let me ask you something.
And you know what I had to do? That's Mark, by the way. You know
So,
what I had to do is
This is the problem I'm having. I'm hearing laughter every now and then. Are you playing that?
Mark. That's Mark.
Okay, well, if he does it during the show, then you got to disconnect him. Because I don't know if he knows he's doing it.
He knows. This is you and I talking. He knows.
We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome. I want to talk to Deputy Bo right now. I want to bring up something that happened on the show not long ago. A woman called and said, I'm a neighbor, and I haven't seen my older neighbor in weeks. And then the daughter called and said, yeah, that's my mom. I haven't seen her. And some other people noticed they haven't seen her. They called Aurora police, who went over there, but did not go through the door. They said they had no reason to. They couldn't hear anything, and so they left it. So another few days went by. They were very upset. So we had Deputy Bo, who did you call the police, Bo, again, or did you just go over there?
Diana called the show on September 23rd.
Yeah, we got that part.
Okay. So I went over there, and the HOA was there telling her not to get involved. They couldn't do anything to me.
Well, did you call
yeah.
the police?
No, I called the fire department because someone on the show mentioned it.
That's right.
Because I figured the fire department would be more responsive, so the person that called in gave us good advice. So they did come out, and then they sent a rescue team, and they waited around for 20 minutes, and we told them the situation, how she was making all of these calls, and then they did force open the back door. And the lady was kind of semi-conscious. She was in bed with her arms folded. And then they asked us to kind of step away. They went in and they took her in an ambulance to the hospital. So I called Diana the other day to follow up what happened.
Yeah.
So her name is Mary. She was in the hospital for a week and a half. Extremely dehydrated. I don't know the other medical issues. And then they put her in rehabilitation for 3 weeks. And she just got back, I believe, a couple weeks ago. And Aurora Social Services is coming in every day and checking on her. So I believe when Diana called the show and got hold of us, she saved her life because no one was taking any action in trying to get this lady help.
And thank you very much that you at least took the initiative to call the fire department.
I think Bo's being modest here because if it wasn't for him, I remember when he left the studio, he said, I'm going to break in even if I get arrested. So he took the initiative.
Then he called the fire department.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody did call. One of the callers called in and said, one of the listeners said, police may not break in, but I'll bet you firefighters or emergency or rescue people would. And they sure as hell did. And she was laying there.
The Troubleshooter Show is definitely instrumental.
Yeah. Like coordinating everything, taking the call, the listener calling in, recommending the fire department, Bo running over there. And so right now, is she back at her apartment?
She got back a couple of weeks ago, and she's still, I don't know her medical situation, but at least she's got help from social services, and they're going over there, I believe, 3 times a week and checking on her.
Thank you, Bo. Appreciate that very much. Let's talk to Ronnie. Wants to talk about a furnace. Go ahead, Ronnie. What's happening?
Hi, Tom. I have a furnace that quit working, or I couldn't get it going this year. I had HomeSmart come out because I overpaid them for years for furnace protection.
Yeah, HomeSmart is Home Stupid. It should be called Home Stupid. Is that the Excel program? I guess he didn't like what I said.
So anyways, the guy says, well, this type of furnace, it can't be repaired. It's too old, blah, blah, blah.
How old is it, by the way? How old is it?
Somewhere around 20 years. It's in a crawl space, right? But
well, if it's 20 years old, it may not be wise to repair if it's going to cost a lot. So what happened then?
So for the last 20 years, they've come out and serviced it every year. Did a half job on that. But anyway, so the guy says, I can't fix it. I can't get to that thing. And I'm like, anything mechanical could be repaired or replaced, right? But he says, I got to have the salesman. And all he wanted to do was sell me a new furnace, right? So then I had a second place come out, and the guy said the same thing. We can't get to the igniter. Somehow the way they built the furnace, the igniter is not serviceable.
So then what?
And he says it needs a gas valve.
Okay. That's not unusual for a 20-year-old furnace. What happened then?
So let me take a step back. The house is in probate, right? The judge gave some guy, personal representative over me, which I live in the house, right?
Wait. Hold on. Ronnie, wait a minute, man. Now you're really throwing a wrinkle into this. Let me get this straight.
Yeah.
Just wait a sec. Why are you living in the house?
Because it was my mom and dad bought the house.
Got it.
13 years ago, my mom died, right? Well, when she died, there was 10 of her grown children living in the house still that lived here because of mental illness, alcohol.
And then what? And then what
illness,
happened? Okay,
right?
So walk me through it. Then what happened after?
So now, since the last 10 years, 9 of them have died that lived in the house. I'm the last one.
Okay, but the house was never transferred to any of the siblings or you, right?
Well, they said that it was transferred to my brother Jim, but Jim can never. We used to ask Jim, "Where's the paperwork?" He could never come.
And then did Jim die?
Yeah, Jim died, and 3 weeks ago I came across the will and testament that says the house was his.
Okay, so when he died, then what happened?
I just continued to live. He died 3 years ago.
And you continued to live there, then what happened?
So then I have a sister who thought the house was in Jim's name. Once she got whiff of the house not being in Jim's name.
You said it was, hold on. You can't keep going. You said it was in Jim's name. Now you're telling me the sister got whiff. It was not in Jim's name.
Well, all right. So Jim never put the house, he can never find the paperwork to put it in his name.
Okay. He was left the house, but he never transferred title.
Yes.
Okay, so where do we stand? So then the sister found this out. Then what happened?
So now she's. Let me take another step back. I have a brother in Seattle who died last year also, right? My mom had 15 children.
Ronnie, I don't need to know the whole story. Just keep going, man. Just keep. So what does this brother in Seattle have to do with Jim not having the house in his name?
No, it doesn't. I just want to tell you the story. So the brother in Seattle didn't have a will. The state of Seattle hired a guy to take care of his estate.
That's called a public administrator. Is that what they're doing for you right now?
Well, now this public administrator says he can't close my brother's estate until he closes Rita's estate, which is my mom's name.
That's true. That's all true. Because, Ronnie, the siblings and you guys were a bunch of idiots, okay? Drug addicts and alcoholics, and they all died, and none of them took care of business. So, Ronnie, you don't own that house. In fact, Ronnie, you have no rights to that house until all of the estates are closed out. And it's likely when all of that is done, you're going to own it along with your sister.
Well, my sister is in cahoots with the guy from Seattle. They're forcing me to sell the house.
Well, first of all, the guy in Seattle on your brother's estate has nothing to do with Colorado and your mom's estate.
Yeah, yes, because the judge appointed him personal representative here in Colorado.
Hold on. Wait a minute. A Seattle judge appointed that person, or did a Colorado judge?
A Colorado judge did.
Okay, here's what the Colorado judge thought. He thought, you know what? Since this guy is already familiar with the family, we're going to put this guy in charge of this estate here. Is that attorney licensed in Colorado?
No, he's not. He has hired a lawyer here in a law firm here in Colorado.
Now I know what's happening. Now I know what's happening. But here's what's going to happen, Ronnie, okay? The reason the public administrator, by the way, the furnace is the least of your problem. The reason that a public administrator is now ordering that your home be sold, and the reason they hired a law firm here in Colorado, I want you to listen. How much is that house worth?
It's a six-bedroom house. It's somewhere around $400,000.
Okay,
but it's in depleted.
It's in bad condition. Let's say, hold on. Yeah. Let's say it's worth $500,000. Is that right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. If it's worth $500,000 and it's paid off, this attorney or this public administrator in Seattle is seeing dollar signs. In fact, all public administrators see dollar signs. There's nothing different about him than the one here that he hired. So those two attorneys got together on the phone and said, here's an opportunity for us to make about $250,000 each. Since none of these kids know what the hell they're doing, and I'm representing a dead brother in Seattle, and in Colorado, you have a numbskull named Ronnie living there. He has no clue what's going on, and his sister is greedy. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to rape and pillage the estate. We're going to take every dime we can, and maybe when it's all said and done and we submit our bills to the courts, maybe Ronnie and his sister might get $10,000 each. Now, Ronnie, I want you to write down the day. It's Halloween, and it sounds scary, but I want you to write it down. Thursday, October 31st. It's 11:18 in the morning, and Tom Martino predicted what's going to happen. It will happen. They will rape and pillage the entire estate. They will order the house sold. You will be homeless. You and your sister will get a minority of the estate, and public trustees will split the majority. That's because the public administration system in the United States is corrupt, immoral, and disgusting, okay? And in my opinion, public administrators should be hung or go to jail and get the electric chair or rot and burn in hell for eternity. Did I make myself clear?
Oh, Tom, you know what? Everything you said, I've already found out. But here's the issue. Here's my question to you: If I turn in my brother Jim, that the house is left to him, does that change anything?
If you do what?
I have his will and testament here. It's never been turned into the courts.
And like what does his will and testament say?
He doesn't have one. This is just between my mom left the house to him, but the dummy could never find the paperwork. And like I said, he died 3 years ago.
Well, wait a minute. What difference would it make? They're assuming. So who are they saying the house is in right now?
They're assuming the house is in Rita Elizabeth Apodaca's name.
Okay,
that's the mother, right?
They're assuming it's still in your mom's name, right?
Yes, and it is. But Jim was so stupid. My mom signed the house over to him, but he could never find the paperwork. I found the paperwork 3 weeks ago.
There is no paperwork to find. If he had a will,
his will and testament.
You mean he could never find the will and testament?
Yeah, he can never find it. I found it.
Okay.
Ronnie, do you have money to hire a lawyer?
You know what?
No, he doesn't. What are you kidding me?
$1,500 talking to lawyers, and all I got was rip. We're going to charge you a fee to come and talk to us for a couple hours.
Hey, listen, do me a favor, Ronnie. Ronnie, seriously, hang on. I want to try to get Dan McKenzie on for a second. Hold on, all right? Let's see if we can get Dan McKenzie on. I want to talk to him about this. So hold on, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Art and Nancy, please hang on. I'm going to come to you next. And Mike, hang on. I have Brooke White, RedRocksRS.com. We'll get to her too. We've had a very busy morning on Halloween. And the thing I told you about public administrators, you can take it to the bank. They're lying, disgusting. They honest to God, they're terrible people. Terrible. The first thing they think about when they take over an estate is how much can I rape and pillage this estate? If you're a public administrator, you ought to just take fentanyl right now if you can. Just do it yourself. You'll do society good. I'm Tom Martino. They're the most disgusting.
best 45 bucks you'll ever spend on your furnace. I'm consumer advocate Marc Mager. 888heating.com will get your furnace ready for winter with their $45 deep cleaning special. They tear apart your furnace, get rid of all the dirt, and give you a no breakdown guarantee. I know lots of companies offer specials like this, but these guys actually clean it. They're just not trying to sell you something. Go to 888heating.com. That's 888heating.com.
All right, let's talk about One Clear Choice Garage Doors, the place that you want to fix your garage doors because they're great people. What they will do is come 24/7 if you have an emergency, you can't get your door closed. Or you might just want to get a part for a door or for an opener. They do it all. One of the few really factory authorized companies around. A lot of garage door companies are schlock. I recommend OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Been dealing with them for, oh my God, 20 years or so. 720-370-3987. All of their prices are clearly marked on their website, OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Now, let's talk about John Fuller, a personal injury attorney that you can talk to before hiring him. In fact, you can talk to him at the first sign of a problem, an accident where you need advice. You call John, 303-597-4500, and ask him questions. How much is my case worth? How do I collect? What do I do next? There's no obligation. And if you do hire him, there is no out-of-pocket. He works on a percentage fee basis. The only law firm where you get to talk to the lead attorney up front first, and he'll go through all of your options. Look him up, Fuller, Fuller, John Fuller, 303-597-4500. So let's see if we can get Dan McKenzie on, please.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Thank you.
Tom?
Yeah.
I was working with Art. The guy on Art Nancy.
Okay.
It'd be, so 18,000 is the equity added, but it's 24 grand for that side of the system. And then out of pocket after the tax credit is about 17.
Okay, so before the tax credit. So the check to you is 24,000.
Exactly.
For everything, the batteries and.
This is just the solar.
Oh, the solar, the generation part of it. Hi, sweetie. Hi, princess. So
What's her name?
Princess.
Princess?
Yeah. Hi, sweetie. That's Tom's daughter's cat.
Yeah, he was telling her about that.
Oh, so glad you're here. She always comes over to say hello.
Yeah, she seems
She's a sweet, sweet kitty cat. No coffee for cats.
Princess likes D.
And then, so after I write the check for 20,
I'm going to bring up Mark.
there's a federal tax credit of 7,200.
Oh, he's not in his chair. Never mind.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So that 30% ties to any electrical work, roof work, anything. Like he's talking about heat pumps. You can add heat pumps into it.
And is that all in 1 year, or does it have to be taken over a whole bunch of years?
You can take as much of it as you have tax credit
okay,
for.
great. Awesome.
If you don't have the tax liability, residentially it rolls over for 20 years.
Wow.
If it's a business,
Okay.
it rolls over for 10. So it just depends. And then businesses get the 10%, or I'm so sorry, they get an additional 34% in tax credit. So almost 64% of a business's solar system is paid for with government benefits.
And what are these batteries? I mean, are these?
All right, Ronnie, our expert is not going to be available for another 10 minutes, so I just ask that you be patient with me and just hold on, okay?
So the Tesla Power 3 is the
Okay,
biggest
hold on.
battery on the market as far as like for a residential house and the continuous output. And that's going to produce. It's restricted to 49 amps, which might not, but the continuous output power is 11,500.
And that's a Tesla brand battery pack.
Yeah, that thing is like 2 feet by 4 feet. So 2 by 4, but it's really skinny. It's only 10
I've seen
inches.
those. And what does that cost, roughly speaking?
Oh, about 16 grand.
16.
Like all in, like permit, connection, wiring, all that
What about
stuff.
all these people I see putting in like forklift batteries?
You can.
Or a huge array of 12-volt batteries.
Yeah, those are usually off-grid folks.
Yeah.
And off-grid is wild.
Okay.
'Cause
You ever deal with those installations.
Have you ever worked with a farmer before?
No.
He's like, oh, I can do this. And then they just buy stuff and they hodgepodge it together and they say, hey, it works.
Well, here's why I ask. One of my industrial clients, Comcast, they have very expensive 12-volt jam batteries. There are many thousands, if not tens of thousands of them, all over the streets. They're backup batteries to their transmission systems.
The most important thing Joe said was,
I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm.
There's nothing.
I didn't even understand him. I didn't even understand what he was saying. Then he
It's
said
easy to
he
understand
said
the
something
last part.
about his home state. How did that play into?
Delaware. The Puerto Ricans in Delaware are fine people.
Oh, really? Oh, I was thinking about just stashing some from.
West Side Story.
But did you even understand that entire statement?
A little bit, yeah. I was raised by my grandmother. Stand by.
KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. 713-8255, bringing Mark back in. And we have Red Rocks Roof and Solar with us as well. I'm going to go to the phones, though. I have a few questions here I want to get to. And Mike has a comment on Mary and Bo. Mary, the woman that was left to die, basically. No one attended to her. And then finally, the emergency services broke in. Go ahead, Mike.
Hi, Tom. Thanks for taking my call. I'm the retired firefighter that called the show.
Okay, yeah, you sound familiar. You called the show and said, hey, even though police aren't doing anything, you should call the fire department.
Right, because often the cops are so worried about probable cause and warrants and having to write a report about doing damage. The fire department doesn't care. They're out to solve the problem, and that's exactly what they did. And I've got another tip for your listeners that's going to be a little controversial. Well, let me back up. First of all, I'm very, very thankful that she was alive. And
yes.
They were able to save her.
Yes.
I've been to dozens of these.
Yeah.
And a good portion of them do not turn out so well.
Yeah.
But they still need to be dealt with if they've passed.
Okay.
And that's the important issue. So I'm thankful she's alive. The other tip I have for your listeners is this. Recently, I had a prowler around my house, and it took Denver PD 4 hours to even think about responding to my house. So if a listener sure that someone is trying to break into their house while they're inside, call the fire department and tell them that they smell smoke. And that commotion will drive anyone away because they don't want the attention. And they'll be there usually within 4 minutes instead of 4 hours.
Wow.
And yes, it's false reporting, but there isn't a firefighter in the world that's going to have them prosecuted.
Well, you're right. It is controversial.
Interesting.
Yeah. Why does it take so long otherwise?
Because Denver's a very liberal city.
What is that?
They defunded the
Well,
police.
and-
You know this.
You know, it's...
But they weren't talking. He's not
and
talking
its
about police.
citizens
He's talking about
to
firefighters.
bust the balls of the cops, and so cops don't want to work in Denver. And so
Oh, okay. He is talking about
they have
cops.
problems filling police cars.
I see. Well, thank you for calling again, Mike. Appreciate the information you give us now. Art and Nancy, sorry for the wait. What's going on?
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Art. What's going on?
Yeah, we're calling you back. We're the couple that had the problem with dental implants from a.
Oh, wait a minute. Did I put both? I'm wondering if I put both of your names down. Let me make sure.
Nancy and
Yeah. No, I get you, man. And when did you call in? How long ago?
3 weeks ago, and then the first time was about a month and a half ago.
Okay. Give us the rundown. What's going on now?
Yeah, Nancy had dental implants that cost us $45,000.
Yeah, 10 implants, and it was from Dental Associates of Aurora. And after she had a $600 dental cleaning done, but they charge for dental insurance $1,300. You talked about after that, and then now Nancy's coverage allowance is $700 short. Is that what you're thinking?
We got that back.
Okay, good. So now what's going on?
Now we tried to call Dental Associates of Aurora to see if they could correct the mistake they made.
Which mistake are you talking about? Which mistake?
The implants are all wrong.
What do you mean they're all wrong? 10 implants and they're all wrong?
Yeah, they were. We had two other dentists look at them, and they said that they were implanted wrong. They're crooked and they're loose.
The implants themselves or the restoration on top of the implant, the tooth?
Well, the implants are touching the nerve, and the other, then the top implant is rocking every time she tries to chew.
Okay, so the top, the restoration, or the tooth is on an implant, which is the anchor. It's not a top implant and a bottom implant. Okay, you're saying that her actual anchors, the implants, are touching nerves?
Correct.
How many implants are touching nerves?
The new dentist we went to said 2 or 3 are touching the nerve.
And did he say they have to be removed?
They're saying that if they explode down there, if they get too close, they can cause considerable pain and swelling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they need to be removed, and they need to fill that bottom area, and then they need to reinsert a shorter one. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, they're saying that, and they're also saying the top right implant is too long because they took out a 6th implant, and so it's really unstable. And so now they want us to bring it in or go in there and have them cut the top implant to make it fit right.
Well, I don't. Okay. What is too long, the tooth or the implant? Art, if you, honest to God, I'm not trying to be an a-hole here about what you're talking about, but if you go to a dentist or talk to them, the implant is only the steel part driven into the bone. Everything else on top of it is the tooth. So what's too long, the implant or the tooth?
The tooth on top.
Okay. Now listen, it sounds to me, first and foremost, 10 implants sound impossible to me, and it almost sounds like malpractice. They would recommend it. And let me explain why. Normally, if someone needs that many implants, they recommend just doing anchor implants, 4 to 6 of them, to hold complete dentures. You know, when you get into that many implants, did they ever recommend, are all the implants on the top or bottom?
Yes, there's one set on the bottom and one set on top.
So there's 5 and 5?
Yeah, there's 5 on the bottom. It's supposed to be 6 on top, but they had to take one out.
Okay, all right. Why would you want to go back to such a schlock dentist to have it fixed? Why would you ever want to do that?
Well, I agree with you, but the only way we can get it fixed is she can't afford to go anywhere else because they're going to want another $25,000 to fix it.
Well, I'm gonna give you some bad news.
Can I interject for a second, Tom?
You can in a minute.
Okay.
I'm going to give you some bad news. You're not going to get them to do this free. Okay? Unless you sue them. And suing them is going to cost more than fixing it. That's the bad news and the God's honest truth. What were you going to say, Doc?
Well, I spoke to Art to follow up on this. And when I spoke to him, he said he was working with the Leventhal practice and that he would call me and let me know what they said. So I haven't heard from him.
And who's the Leventhal practice?
They are the biggest malpractice attorneys in Colorado.
Did you talk to a malpractice attorney?
Yeah, we talked to...
it was Jim Leventhal,
Rank.
right?
Yeah, then they sent us to Hillary Rank.
Well, what did they say to you?
And they said that there's a case there, but it's too small for them to...
That's right. That's right.
Too small. Not right.
That's right. So.
But so we called Dental Associates to see if they could at least maybe fix it, and then they said that that Nancy was dismissed from their office and that we are harassing them.
Did you call the dental board?
We're trying to get hold of dental board. It's a lot of trying to get in and out, talk to the right person, but that's our next step.
Well, you have to file a complaint with the dental board. You really do.
Right.
And that can be done online. There's no getting in and out.
Did you go to dora.org or .gov? I mean.
Yeah, we're in the process of
Okay.
that.
Well, that's what you need to do, because the bad news is Art and Nancy, they're not going to take no malpractice attorney is going to take this. And that's why I said it's going to cost you more to fight it than to fix it. I'm not saying you don't go after them, but look did we ever have anyone call Dental Associates of Aurora?
No, I was assigned the case. When I talked to Art, I offered to call them, and he said, "Let's."
Are you going to call him now?
Well, I will talk to Art off the air and find out what's going on.
Well, we just heard what's going on. Nothing. They told him he's harassing, and they said they would do nothing. And
did you get your medical records? Well, he must have.
Records.
Do you have them?
Yes, we do.
Okay, good. Listen, we need to do something about this, Doc. If you don't feel comfortable, I'll give it to you. Tell me what.
No, I didn't say anything.
No, I just want to know, because this is a serious thing. And who's the doctor out there at Dental Associates of Aurora?
Dr. Lee, L-E-E.
Is he the one? Is he still there?
Still there. I think he's the owner.
Well, let's at least get a DORA thing filled out so you can go talk to Deputy Doc and call him. This is ridiculous. If you have professionals say that they put in implants wrong and they won't correct it, what reason did they give you for turning that down when you asked them? What reason?
Why they wouldn't work on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new dentist.
What new dentist? What about the old dentist?
Well, we went and had two other dentists look at it, and they both of them said,
okay,
not good.
Art, you're not answering my question. I'm only going to ask one more time. Why did the current people at Dental Associates of Aurora refuse to fix it?
They said that Nancy is dismissed because when we had that dispute with them over the insurance, they did not like that. They overcharged insurance.
All right, we got more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage.
That slowing we were seeing on the drive westbound 270 from Quebec up to York has cleared out. We're actually looking pretty good. There's a lot of roving road workers out here that will stop temporarily, backing things up and then move on. That was the case there along 270, so we're actually looking pretty good for both directions there across Commerce City. And the rest of the highways here in town wide open. We aren't seeing any delays on the drive, and fortunately, we haven't been dealing with any accidents or stalls both on or off our highway system. As we take a look at your weather forecast here for today, mostly sunny skies, high up to 58. Right now we're at 49 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Aaron O'Neill, 630 KHOW.
Macy's Backstage has amazing deals on everything you need to refresh your wardrobe and home for fall. Get low prices every day on unique finds at Macy's Backstage today. Find a location near you at macysbackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily.
Frank Duran, the realestateman.com. Frank Duran is busy helping people with market valuations, complimentary, to let you know what your house will sell for and what will be involved in selling it and what you can buy with the proceeds, what you'll net. He'll base it on the actual market conditions, and he'll do a complete analysis free of charge. It's way more important than an appraisal. It tells you what you're going to walk away with. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
You're darn good at that.
This is a radio show, so we do
Let me
on-air
tell
calls.
Tom that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love that one.
Yeah, there you go. All right, hang on for me.
That was funny.
That was funny.
What's my thing?
Shit, someone just ran through my head what your thing could be.
My thing, do not call into a radio show. You don't want to be on the radio.
I thought I'd be doing housework with a strap on. Just to show Adam
That's your thing.
Who the boss is. Who's the boss?
That's your thing.
Hey, Tom?
Yes.
I will follow up on this. I just was waiting for him to call me back.
Yeah, I mean, this is, we just have to ask them, why won't you make good on this? Fuck you that you say she's dismissed.
Oh, I know. Like I said, they told me to hold off until they spoke to the malpractice attorneys.
Okay.
So this is the first I've heard since they spoke to the attorneys. So I will definitely follow up on this and get in touch with Dental Associates.
Excellent, excellent.
I didn't want you to think that I was not following up on it.
No, that's fine. I understand.
Okay.
I got it, yeah.
Doc, they may be able to make another claim on their insurance policy too.
How's that?
Well, I'll get all of the details on this.
Doesn't do fuck-ups.
I'm going to make a fake Yelp post.
I just read a couple of cases where the insurance company sued this body shop in Loveland for breach of contract.
The insurance company.
Yeah, and the insurance company, having paid the bill and the work wasn't done, alleged breach of contract and all kinds of other things. So it could be that the insurance company might be willing to work with them.
Okay,
Might be, but again, if the work was done poorly.
Well, her insurance would have to want to go after him.
Right. But if the work was done, even if it's poorly.
That's a matter of opinion.
Right, it's a matter of, well, it's not even a matter of opinion. It's a matter of fact. If you have two other dentists.
No, I know that, but I mean, you can't. Is it a breach because they didn't like it? This dentist can say, we did it fine. Prove it. But maybe they don't want to. I mean, for them to say, well, we're not dealing with you anymore. We don't like what you did with insurance. Screw you.
Every time I had a problem, I offered to put the baby back. No one ever took me up on it.
Yeah.
We're ever 40 plus years of delivering babies. I never had a baby, what they call a bad baby, a baby with a problem. Zero.
Wow. That's great.
I was, and I seriously, I told my patients, sometimes, you have to do a C-section. And I said, what would you rather have? A compromised baby or a little scar on your belly and a healthy baby? And if you put it in those terms, they understand that sometimes, natural birth isn't the only way to have a healthy baby.
Yeah, some women, man. Some women go in saying they're never going to have.
The husband to go, you know what this means for you, right?
Some women go in saying they're never going to have like an epidural or anesthesia.
That goes away pretty quickly.
Shit,
Yeah,
I beg for an epidural every time I come and do your show.
Yeah.
Most babies are non-returnable, huh, Doc?
We're up against another break already.
That's so weird.
Oh, shut up.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Threaten you with an episiotomy.
Never had one. They just.
We're done with Art and Nancy, by the way, unless you want to keep them up there just to aggravate me.
No. We'll.
Thank you. I got them.
Doc, all up in their business. Right
No,
now.
I have their contact, Tom.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go pay him.
All right, we'll scrape them off. Here we go.
Talk station. Online at khout.com.
Real quick, I want to go to Dan McKenzie. Dan, this is such a complicated case. I'm just really going to summarize it. I'm not going to listen to Ronnie again. Basically, and I might have numbers wrong a little here, but here's the basic story. His mom died, okay? He and 9 siblings lived in the house with her. She died. They stayed in the house, either drug addicts or alcoholics. And they all died except for Ronnie. The house was never transferred to any of the siblings ever. It was 9 years ago this happened. And the mom, so when she died, the house remained in her name, and these kids all died off except for Ronnie. Now, there was a will that no one ever found that would have left the house to one of the siblings that died. And Ronnie has a copy of that will. Meanwhile, a sister who doesn't live in that house and is not deceased, she wants part of that house. And so she petitioned the courts, and the courts assigned a public trustee. To make matters worse, it was a public trustee out of state that was already working with another deceased brother in another state. And that public administrator hired an attorney here in Denver. Now, the public trustees want the house sold so Ronnie and his sister can settle their dispute. Unfortunately, I fear what I've seen a million times, and that is a house worth about $500,000. By the time 2 public administrators are done with it, they're not going to have much money left over. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, but what choice do they have?
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. Can they petition the courts? If they can get along, can they petition the courts to just take over the probate since it's their own mother?
Yeah, that could happen. I think you can always ask a court to do anything, right? So, sure.
Why would the court be in favor of a stranger as opposed to a member of the family?
Just because, the members of the family are involved in both sides of the dispute, and having them try and do that might not be real straightforward. Sometimes having an outsider who just has no emotional attachment to any of this is more efficient, frankly.
Why don't the courts have better oversight on administrators, public administrators?
I mean, do they? They do. They require the reporting and the accounting and everything else. So there is.
Listen, if I was on a scavenger hunt and somebody asked me to find Satan, I would go to a public administrator.
Yeah, I mean, how far are they into this process? They don't want the household? Is that what?
Well, no. Ronnie would like to live there, but that's going to be tough because if his sister wants some of the proceeds, that's not going to happen. My concern, Dan, is that by the time they sell the house and these 2 bloodsuckers get their fees, there's not going to be much left for Ronnie to get another place.
I mean, that's a valid concern, and then probably, I guess the best thing you could do is maybe cooperate with them if that's not already happening, just make sure they have all the information.
They're still going to find a reason to suck it dry. You know they are. I know you don't want to say it because it's not politically correct, but you know they're not going to come out with a lot of money. You know that.
I mean, obviously they have less incentive to try and, preserve the estate than others, but they've got a fiduciary duty. They are supervised by the courts. You're right. I don't want to I don't know about who they are, what they've done. And,
anyway, Dan McKenzie, if you have, trust me, go to him first. If you ever have estate issues or you're planning a will or a trust, coplans.co, 833-CO-PLANS, 833-CO-PLANS. Hold on, Ronnie.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage.
That slowing we were seeing on the drive westbound 270 from Quebec up to York has cleared out. We're actually looking pretty good. There's a lot of roving road workers out here that will stop temporarily, backing things up and then move on. That was the case there along 270, so we're actually looking pretty good for both directions there across Commerce City. And the rest of the highways here in town wide open. We aren't seeing any delays on the drive, and fortunately, we haven't been dealing with any accidents or stalls both on or off our highway system. As we take a look at your weather forecast here for today, mostly sunny skies, high up to 58. Right now we're at 49 degrees. With your impact, traffic, and weather, I'm Aaron O'Neill, 630 KHOW.
Macy's Backstage has amazing deals on everything you need to refresh your wardrobe and home for fall. Get low prices every day on unique finds at Macy's Backstage today. Find a location near you at macysbackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily.
Vestera Turnkey. That is a strategy, a company that helps you become a landlord, helps you invest in real estate, helps you get 30 to 80% returns a year, helps you to double your money sometimes in just 2 years. Here's the deal. Barry Miller, an esteemed real estate broker, has put together this program where he researches the hot markets around the country, when to buy, when to sell. He helps you with management companies and everything it takes to take all the hassle out of it and to minimize risk to almost nothing. And he has been doing it year after year after year, making people lots of money. If you want to be part of it, why don't you figure it out, give them a call, VesteraTurnkey.com, VesteraTurnkey.com, 303-888-3788, 888-3788.
Very kind.
I was looking at billions, so he's got about, I want to say 5 billion, maybe 6.
That's pretty good.
It's unbelievable. But then if you put it into perspective, like with Elon at 260, holy shit.
And it's possible Elon is undervalued at that.
Oh, sure. Definitely agree.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, no, and Mark Cuban's not an idiot. He's just misguided. And a lot of these guys get into a bubble where they think what they're doing is right because everybody's literally kissed their anus most of their life.
Yep.
Mr. Cuban, can I get that for you?
What's that?
Last week our house got broken into, and it took
Kissing my anus.
Denver.
What a lovely way to say how much you love me.
But they
Do we have any time coming back in?
Like a detective.
Not much.
Which
non-person.
changed the subject there.
Like I called 911 where the guy was breaking in.
Where were you?
In the house. Aaron,
You'll
my husband, grabbed a gun.
basically
and
have
handled
a-
it and scared the guy off. But yeah,
You'll have
that's why I
1
couldn't
minute,
make it to
Mr.
the.
Bond.
That's an
Use it
invasion.
wisely.
They know you were home?
Yeah, the 911 operator or the.
How were they trying to break in?
Through the garage.
What were they going to do?
He
Hold you up?
He was starting to take bikes and stuff. It was like a robbery. He's homeless. I would assume because he had like 3 backpacks and a sleeping pad.
Your husband went out with a gun?
He did, yeah.
And what happened? Did the guy run away?
Oh yeah, the guy ran away. We got
Hey,
it.
my
So,
ballot was
no big
received.
deal. It just Aaron resolved it before the cops even showed up.
Does it have white
Did they
powder
show
in it?
up?
What was your vote counted?
Oh,
An active
That's what it says.
Oh, yeah.
that's
Now
you're
you'll
lucky.
get another
I
email
was
that
going to
says
guess
your
2.5
vote was
hours.
counted.
Oh, you
What
do
city
for
do you
real?
live in?
Yeah.
Denver.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of
6
cool.
hours.
They just, tell you they
It did
counted
take
it.
a while to go through the process, but yeah, that happened. That happened last week because we have we're like now in an encampment area.
Now, it's definitely useless because 30,000 ballots with the opposite
That's a big
direction
intersection
showed up
here,
in
yeah.
some luggage last night. But
Yep.
Oh god.
Exactly.
Baker? Isn't that
Lieutenant
Baker?
Griswold apparently
just
didn't want
north
to
of
answer
Baker.
one
Oh
very
my
important
God.
question.
Yeah.
Your
What's that?
Please take only one
Yeah.
ballot bowl that's on
Oh,
your
gee.
porch tonight.
Good luck
Is that
to you.
a serious
Yeah, it's been
offer
an
or?
adventure,
Oh, that's funny.
so-
Time to invest in a moving truck.
Did she
You know,
sigh?
my husband wants to move
We
to
should
Montana
stage
now,
that
and
photo, huh?
Yeah, good
Well,
She
call.
sighed
Did
a
she
lot.
sigh?
I mean,
On the
I heard them talking
is
about it.
on the
I
radio?
just
They were
grew up
looking
in
at
a
her
town
picture and
with
they're like,
people,
huh.
so-
Here in
Still
Colorado.
got some
no,
of that
about
baby
it.
fat.
And so
What?
I'm
Who
not
said
sure I'm
that?
ready to go
Chad.
back to.
Chad Bauer. She hasn't lost the
Yeah,
baby
10th
weight
and
yet.
Santa Fe is not going to
And
get
I
any
missed the
better.
opportunity
Oh, I
to
know.
yell, how big a baby did she
Yeah.
eat?
Interesting because they're
That puppy.
doing construction
Wow.
on the railroad yard.
Am I going to have any time coming back?
A minute.
Okay, I'll bring back Mark here.
You going to do what to Mark?
Bring him back. I'm done with Dan McKenzie, by the way.
We know that. So, do we have to do everything?
Yeah, sure. I'm just going to kiss
What do you
off.
want me to do with Ronnie?
I'm going to tell Ronnie what to do.
Okay.
That'll be fun. Ah, crap. Here comes Dragon.
Okay, continue to work with
Yeah, you saw it come
Deputy
in.
Doc. I think you have his number, and he will help you out, okay?
Is she talking to
Really?
Ronnie? Better not.
Well, I can't do the chili
give it
all
to
at
you.
once.
He's got to call you. He should have already given it to you.
That sounds awful.
Okay,
Here
no
we go.
problem. Thank you.
K-How.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Ronnie, listen. You heard Dan McKenzie. I think your only hope is for you and your sister to get along and to chip in or to do something, hire an attorney like McKenzie Law and have them and have him take care of the problem or petition the courts to put it back in the family. And they would do that. If you can't do that, there's no hope. You have to simply sit back and let the public administrator do their thing. Are you there, Ronnie?
Yeah, Tom. I thought, hey, Tom, but I understand all that, and but Tom, my real issue today is my damn furnace. I'm afraid of these. I had to.
Well,
keep
let me
water
explain.
flowing
Let me
back.
explain some cold hard facts to you. An emphasis on the cold. If that furnace is working, leave it alone. You're not going to own that house, Ronnie. There's not a chance in hell you're going to stay in that house. Okay, I'm sorry. If you have zero heat, that's one thing. Do not get a new system right now. If you need someone to fix it, we can make a referral off the air for you to someone who can fix it. But really, don't spend a lot of money. You're not going to be there long.
Thank you. What do you got for Ronnie? Where should we send him? Want to do a little 888 or something?
I can't do much for him. He's going to have
understand.
to.
It's just,
I don't know. I mean, who can we have go out there and look to fix that damn thing rather than give him a whole new one?
Do you know a guy in the studio that knows heating systems?
You know, Tom, I could probably refer a couple of guys I know that work out of their house.
Yeah, let's do that.
Fixed.
Let's do that,
So
Bode.
give
Let's
me
talk.
his information. I'll check it out.
Kachina, can you do that? Yeah. Thanks.
Oh, when Tom asked, it's yeah. When I said something, it was no.
Well, because
I understand.
Typical.
My name's not on the show. I get it. Golly.
Ronnie, what's the best number to reach you?
69. Yeah.
Hey, D, it's Bo. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Hi, Bo.
How you doing?
Good. About yourself?
All right.
Hey, did Carol manage to mail you that police report?
You know, I emailed her this morning.
Mhm.
I was pretty strong about it. I said, where's that police report?
Mhm.
Damn, it's been 3 weeks.
No audio associated.
Yeah.
So I'll call her. She just doesn't seem to be with me.
Yeah, it would also be.
I wanted to ask you about this Chris with the robot dog.
Yeah.
You want to follow?
Well, I think.
I mean, I'm kind of done talking to him, but he's getting his money back. But I'd like to know for sure. But you know, he was a pain in the ass to me over the weekend.
Oh, I know.
So do you want to follow up and just finish it, maybe in a couple weeks?
Yeah, I'll be happy to. I read the last email that you sent him, and I think that was very clearly written, and hopefully he understands what that means, that he needs to find somebody to box up the dog toys and send them in. But I'll give him a call. I'll give him a call tomorrow morning.
They won't refund his money without that. Now, to me, I would just deduct it, but they want those damn toys back, and I don't know why.
The toys.
They must be.
But it was a miracle that you pulled off getting Sony to even refund it. So changing the terms of that refund at this point is going to be very counterproductive.
Absolutely.
And it's going to make you and me both seem as loony as Chris is.
By the way, thanks for saying what
To change the terms of the refund.
Now my Google is going to look for dog toys.
I think it's because it's not easy for him to box them up and send them out. So Bo said what I think is the right way to do it. He said, Chris, you need to find somebody, whoever is helping you, to put them in a box and mail them to Sony.
Dimitri.
Yes.
And Bo, you both said dog toys so many times. I guarantee our Google searches will include dog toys from now on. Seriously, if you look at Facebook and stuff later, it will have the banner ads will be dog toys.
Not porn toys.
That's one of those things that Google just drools over.
Oh, well, how about this? Sony dogs suck.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if that's actually one of the features.
I don't know what you want, Kitty.
Hi, Kitty.
Okay.
Come on, princess. Do you want some attention? Come on.
No, that was it looked brutal.
Pick you up and hug.
It was like it's not. It's sometimes yes, but he's played the same damn character in every movie.
This is different.
Well, she just called.
Oh, I know what I have to do. I have to change that one camera.
Jesus, okay, I'll do it. Yes. High maintenance.
It is very special.
Sorry about that. You had to deal with something.
In a good way?
But the one, there's a line that haunts me. There's a running joke in it where all of these Arab guys look at they're what?
They're hairstylists, right?
Well, one, Zohan is.
Okay.
And he was the world's greatest
killer
assassin.
Yeah.
For the Mossad.
Yeah.
But so they end up getting jobs at this electronics store in New York called Going Out of Business. It's a great running joke. Because, all those stores are closing soon, right? You gotta go in and get a deal. And their answer to everything in the store is, oh, come on, Sony Guts. Sony Guts. I've never heard of this brand before. It's Sony Guts.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Madison Square Garden, witnessing a caravan of migrants invading Manhattan. I didn't think it was possible to have more white people here than a Rangers game. The last time Donald Trump had this many New Yorkers in the palm of his hand, he was doing it to impress Jeffrey Epstein. Rally to the right. To the right, folks. Come on.
Okay.
Okay. Whoops. Sorry. Wait. Let me just stand right here. Okay, you're good. Okay. USA.
Please hold a moment.
She is a huge part of Saturday Night Live.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show.
Colbert. 10 seconds, guys.
Ovation on 630 KHOW.
Bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. If you have a problem or question or complaint, you can call us there or call us at 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. Brooke White's with us from Red Rocks Roof and Solar, and calls have subsided a little bit, slammed all day. So I do have a chance to get to some of these texts about solar. And somebody wants to know, they heard that both bantered about a 30% tax credit and a 40%. Is there ever a 40% tax credit available, Brooke?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's called a domestic tax credit or the Buy American Act tax credit, and that's 10%. There's also a community tax credit, that's a 10%, or a low income, that's another 10%. So it just depends on the project.
Wait. That 10, 10, and 10 just added to 30 on its own.
Yeah, it just depends on the project specifics.
So some projects have 30% credit. Some projects go up as high as 60% credit.
Some projects can go up to 80% tax credit, depending on it. But those are commercial or industrial. Mostly for residential, it's either going to be 30 or 40, depending on the specifics of the person.
And what gets them that extra 10% in a residential system?
It's the demographic information and where they're at. So if they're veteran status, if they're disabled, if they're in a disadvantaged community zone documented by the federal government.
They get another 10%.
Yep, it's all dependent on the where they're at. And then they're still debating about that domestic tax credit going from just commercial to residential now.
Now, somebody said that their solar person said they have to check to make sure their area is approved for solar. What the heck does that mean? Does an area have to be approved for solar? I never heard that.
The solar person was probably talking about the utility company, and if the utility company could handle them adding solar.
Okay, well, what does that mean? Why wouldn't they be able to handle adding solar if solar takes off pressure from the grid?
They still have to move the energy, so they still need to make sure that their wire lines and transformers can handle the influx of power.
So even if you have domestic service with a power company, it could be so that you can get electrical service, but not necessarily net meter back to them.
Yeah, exactly. So in those cases, you'd have to do an off-grid solar system.
So there are places where they won't accept the electricity that you send.
Yeah.
But you can still do a solar system. You just won't get credit for that power.
Yeah, what would happen is we install what's called a disconnect switch. It's a fire safety thing. You just would click that so your solar system power wouldn't go back out to the grid. It would just power your home.
So you would have to consciously do that every time you're using your solar system?
Yeah,
It's a pain in the butt then.
Yeah.
So if you're in an area, but why wouldn't the government force power companies to accept grid power from solar systems? If they're truly wanting to make solar ubiquitous around the country to lower our need for oil, why wouldn't they require that?
So solar is very much state-based. So in the state of Colorado, the utility companies have to have so much of their power coming from renewable sources, and it needs to continue upticking until 2040. So in Colorado, we do have those regulations and requirements, and the solar companies do have to give you full net metering, 1-to-1 ratio retail value for the power you send them. So we're in a great state for solar. Take a state like Iowa, which is where I'm from. The utility company can say, we're really glad you built a solar system. Thanks for the free power. We're not giving you a credit on your bill. So it depends on the state as to how the regulations are in that area, and it's also specific to the utility company that you're working with.
Wow. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, so that is solar. If you have any questions, you can always call them directly. And that's redrocksrs.com, by the way. They're great people to deal with, 303-704-2449. Now let's go back to news of the day. Mark, do you do anything special for Halloween? Huh?
We're going to an actual Halloween party tonight, so we'll dress up, and that's about it, man.
Is it a private one or like at a place?
No. Private party,
Okay.
friends of ours.
Now, here is a resolution.
Guess what I'm going as?
Let's see, Trump.
You got it, with my trash vest and everything.
Are you going to? Really? Do you have the wig?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
No, I do not have the wig, but I'll wear a hat. So.
Oh, the MAGA hat. And then, well, what else would distinguish you? Are you going to do an orange glow or something?
The trash vest.
Okay. Now, the House concurrent resolution 23-1002. Now, this is a property tax exemption for veterans with disabilities. I don't mind that at all. What it means is it requires a 55% approval. It'll amend the Constitution of Colorado to expand the tax exemption for veterans with disabilities. It's going to help veterans who have non-service connected disabilities rated at 100%. That is 23-1002. Nothing wrong with that amendment, right, Mark? Would you agree?
Why would anybody vote against that?
Right. Now, here's the next one.
I don't see any issue with it at all.
Here's the next one, 23-1001, judicial discipline procedures. Now, this gets tricky. Listen to this, and confidentiality. Shall be an amendment of Colorado's Constitution concerning judicial discipline and connection therewith, establishing, this is the part that's tricky, establishing an independent judicial discipline board, setting standards for review of a discipline case, and clarifying when discipline proceedings become public. What that is saying, vote against it. What that is saying is you're going to have a committee, and you know it's going to be totally political. It's a judicial committee. And what they will do is decide on a case by case, if it should be public or not. I'm sorry, no. Why can't everything be public? That is a no-no. That's House concurrent. It's Amendment H. Let's just put it that way. Amendment H. Now, so we did G, which is the disability. That's okay. H, I say, is a no-no. I, listen to this one. A bill, it's an exemption for first-degree murder, a bail. So it's an amendment concerning the creating of an exception to the right to bail for cases of murder in the first degree when proof is evident or presumption is great. I don't like that either, because if you're going to have, in my opinion, now you may want this, Mark, a law and order guy, you may want, hey, no bail if it looks like you're guilty. That's what they're saying. If it looks like you're guilty of first-degree murder, there's no bail. I say you can set the bail high enough, but should you not have a right to bail, that can go either way. All right.
Tom, one thing people need to think about is that they may be in favor of something that should be a statute that can be amended later on, as opposed to a constitutional amendment.
That's right.
Which is extremely difficult to undo.
That's right.
You can always undo.
That's right. There have been people.
Yes, guys.
There have been people who have made that argument that they say no to all amendments and say if it means that much to you, make it a statute. What did you say, Mark?
Well, right now, basically, a no vote on that would require judges to set bail for all persons charged with first-degree murder. A yes vote, they could deny bail.
Right.
That's a definite yes.
Can't they deny bail anyway right now?
No, they can't now. The only time they couldn't deny bail before is if it was a death penalty case. And, of course, we abolished the death penalty in Colorado.
Now, Amendment
Mark, it should be a statute, not an amendment.
Amendment J. Shall there be an amendment in the Colorado Constitution removing the ban on same-sex?
Wait. No, we just totally glossed over that. Doc, if you vote no on it, I don't care what it is. If you vote no on Amendment I, then judges have to set bail for people charged with first-degree murder. That's crazy. There's cases.
Are you sure of that, Mark?
Not...
Mark, are you sure of
yes,
that? Okay.
I'm positive of that.
I still think it should be a statute and not an amendment.
I don't give a crap what you think. That's not what's on the ballot.
Yeah, that's
Then
true.
I vote no on it. That's all.
Okay, thanks. And of course you have a right to do that. Now, here's what it says. Repealing the definition of marriage in the Constitution. And repealing the constitutional definition of marriage. But see, Amendment J's title, I'm all for. Repeal the definition of marriage. I'm all for it. But it's not what it says. Then it says it will be an amendment to the Colorado Constitution removing the ban on same-sex marriages. Here, first of all, I believe, I have a radical belief here, again, and I believe the government shouldn't be involved in marriage at all, period, done. It is none of their purview. First of all, this is what's ridiculous. The first time marriage was ever mentioned, ever, anywhere, and this is for people who want to see separation of church and state, then you should never have the state involved in marriage, because marriage was only, look at every holy book in the world, it was only mentioned in the Bible, period. Marriage. That's the only time marriage. Now, there were people together, there were stories of people together, but the actual marriage ceremony and marriage and dissolution of marriage is only mentioned in the Bible, and the government has nothing to do with it. And people shouldn't have to be tied to any definition of marriage. It's not the state's job to tell people they can get married or not.
But Tom, I agree with you in principle, but what happens? See, I think if two people get married civilly, the church can decide or not to accept that as a marriage.
Exactly.
But when it comes to children and assets and division of property, the state has to step in and have rules about how it should be administered.
Okay, first of all, I don't agree with you whatsoever. There are people all day long making stupid partnerships on all kinds of things in life, all kinds of things that affect all kinds of people. And the government doesn't predetermine how the contract is done. Okay? They don't predetermine. They determine after it in the laws of the civil courts. Now, if you want a set of rules for domestic partnerships, that's a whole different story than a marriage. Then you don't get into who should be married and who shouldn't be married, and you just have laws. For example, in Colorado, if your partnership, in Colorado, or in most states, if your partnership in a business, if your agreement was deficient in one or two areas or unconscionable in one or two areas, the state's partnership laws would fill in the blanks. That's what it is. It's the partnership laws. Now, why in marriage should people it's ridiculous. And upon a dissolution of marriage, it's a damn contract, because most of them nowadays aren't for life anyway, and they're all ridiculous. If you want to get married in the church, that's up to you. You can do that all you want all day long, and God love you.
You're bringing
what do you do about the kids,
Doc's
Tom?
saying, though, is you're bringing a kid into it.
Yeah, right. What do you do about the kids?
The kid
Tom?
might have not been there when everything was
let me ask you this, Doc. What happens in a civil contract for any kind of care or service or keeping that you're bringing people into it? What? There are laws. There are laws that talk about contracts and equality and laws of equity and the court of equity. You don't have to predetermine anything. It's ridiculous that a court would tell. First of all, what right does a court have to tell you who should be a parent?
How else do you adjudicate it? What if one parent says, I want full custody, the other parent says, I want full custody? How do you adjudicate that argument?
How do they do it now? Doc, how do they do it now?
They go before a judge.
Oh, and who says, hold on, who says they can't go before a judge? Why does there have to be a definition and a control of the marriage contract for that to happen? Why does there have to be an institution of marriage by the government for that to happen? If you live together and have kids and you want full custody, you end up in court anyway. Tell me why.
I'm agreeing with you.
No, you're not. 100%. You're telling me there's got to be a marriage.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that the courts are there to resolve issues.
Hold on, Doc. Unless I'm crazy, I never said do away with courts to resolve issues. In fact, I said the very opposite. I said the courts are there to resolve issues, and you don't need an institution of marriage to do it.
And I agree with you.
Break time.
100% I agree with
I
you.
mean, the institution of marriage is taking something biblical and religious and saying, okay, the state's now going to give you a damn license for it. Do they give you a license to be baptized? Of course they don't.
Tom, I'm on your side.
Break time.
The taxes are not going to be affected, but you should be able to have the same tax benefits if you have a domestic partnership with a donkey, for God's sakes. I don't care. I mean, what I'm saying is the state has no place in our lives when it comes to that. We have more coming right up. All of a sudden, Doc's getting all religious now. Windows and Siding, founded by Larry Gravina in '88. He and his son Nick have 75 years combined experience. Heritage every company wants, but few achieve. More choices too. 50 lines of windows, many brands of siding, and luxurious entry doors, French doors, and more. GravinaWindows.com, 950 West Evans. The only Gravinas on referralist.com. 303-472-8462. 472-8462. GravinaWindows.com. You know what's coming up to holidays? Everyone wants clean carpets. They want a clean home. No one gets your house cleaner than ZeroResDenver.com. If you want your carpets or your stone and grout floors or your countertops or your upholstery or anything in your home, well, almost anything clean the right way, you want ZeroRes, no chemicals, no soaps, no emulsifiers. You have purified, softened water, the best cleaning agent ever. And I've proven it to someone, showing them how soft water can get super glue off your fingers. It'll get the allergens, pathogens, and past crap out of your carpets from past cleanings. Once you do ZeroRes and you find this purity in both your in-house domestic air and your carpets and everything else, even your ductwork, you'll never go back to another system, no matter what the price. Although they have great values, you will pick ZeroRes for your health, for your family, for cleanliness, not just looking, but feeling clean. ZeroResDenver.com. No other way is acceptable in my book, especially when we're all into organic and other things. 303-471-5150. No toxic waste either. 303-471-5150. ZeroResDenver.com.
Hey, Tom?
Yeah.
I agree with everything you said. I don't know where you got the idea that I didn't agree with you. I'm 100% agreeing with what you said.
Yeah.
The only point I was making
is the
only time that the government should get involved is when there's a dissolution of marriage as far as property and children. Before that...
Actually, they shouldn't get involved in that unless there's a dispute.
Well, of course, unless it's a dispute.
So that's like everything in life. You get involved when there's a dispute. You get the courts involved with the dispute. That would stay the same.
100% I agree with you.
I mean, a fucking government telling you can have a license to get married or not and who to marry? What, are you kidding me?
It's crazy.
Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show.
Doc, the courts already get involved in disputes regarding child custody and support issues between people who were never married to begin with. Yeah. So the government, so the courts can still be accessed for those resolutions without marriage.
He knows that. That's what he's saying. He agrees.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
My only point was very simple. When it comes to dissolution, the courts have to make decisions when there's a dispute. That's all that I said.
Yeah, but that has nothing. What I'm saying is that the government should not be in marriage, period.
I agree 100%.
Not the courts. The government should not be in marriage, ever.
Yes, I agree.
Just like they shouldn't be in anything. I don't give a shit. They shouldn't be in gender. I mean, they shouldn't be in anything. That has nothing to do with the government.
Well, you're just voicing my libertarian views.
Doc, I'd like to take it a step further. My position is that the government should not prohibit marriage to multiple people, as they currently do, even with federal law. So if you wanted to marry two women or 3 women.
I don't see why that would.
I don't see why the government should make that illegal, but there are people in prison right now for having announced their marriage to more than one person at a time.
And that doesn't mean we're in favor of it. It just means that the
it's
government
their business.
shouldn't be involved.
It's the business of those 6 people.
You're preaching to the choir.
Really like to go out to Opus.
You know, I'm a true blood libertarian, and I believe that your conduct, unless it's hurting somebody else, should not be
right. Should not be controlled by the government
or decided by the government.
That's right. That's right.
I know.
I think when it comes to
really working our ass
Tom,
off,
okay? Yeah.
Do you agree that protecting children is the role of the government?
I fucked up last month, apparently.
Protecting who?
Children. So if somebody wants to marry a 13-year-old, should the government have a say in that?
Sure.
Yeah, I think it is the government's responsibility to protect innocent and children.
Well,
under 16.
that's contract though. A 13-year-old can't enter into a contract.
Right. Exactly.
I mean that's. This one about amending the modifying the election deadlines, I don't know where I stand on that. I don't know enough about it.
The one that I really I'm concerned about is 131, where they're having open elections for the instead of primaries that you can vote. And I think what's going to happen
I just shocked the crap out of myself.
is that in Republican districts you're going to have 4 Republicans, and in Democratic districts you're going to have 4 Democrats.
Oh, this Iron Mountain Collisions comment is going to be priceless.
Okay.
You wouldn't believe all the shit I uncovered about this guy.
You guys, I personally think you're all off on the marriage thing.
What do you mean?
Well, just in principle, I have no idea, like, how would you unwind something like
10
that?
seconds, guys.
You wouldn't unwind it.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Sean, you have a comment. Now, let's go back to this problem because we have Deputy D who worked on this. And Iron Mountain Collision, was Sean the original caller on it? No. Who was the original caller on it?
Sage. We got a call from a lady named Sage up in Loveland.
Okay. Sage said that she had an Alfa Romeo taken to Iron Mountain Collision in August of 2023. It disappeared off their lot in June of 2024, and they're stonewalling her. She can't find it. And so what did you find out about? First, let me get your comment, caller. Sean, go ahead.
Yes, I was just letting you know that she was on Loveland Facebook yesterday reaching out for help. And I kind of looked up Iron Mountain, their record on Better Business Bureau, and there's some bad guys, man. I mean, it's dirty how they did her. And,
No.
It goes way beyond.
They're way dirty.
It goes way beyond. So.
Well, listen to this, Tom.
Yeah.
So anyway, during the Facebook page, their employees were getting on there, and someone was saying, "Hey, you need to call Tom Martino back." And one of their employees got on there, "Oh, that's the same Tom Martino that filed bankruptcy in 2011 and all this stuff."
No, it was 2010, and it was a real estate. It wasn't personal. Yeah, it was real estate. That's right.
I know. I'm a faithful listener. I know what happened.
Was that the extent of their defense of their dirty practices?
Then I'm a bad. People always, that's old hat attacking me. Here's the deal, man. Okay, and by the way. In the Great Recession, having property that went down in value, you had no control over it, zero control. But I don't want to get into it. I didn't have not one personal debt that went unpaid, not one. So now let's talk about Iron Mountain. Go ahead.
Well, one of the most shocking things about Sage's allegations was that Iron Mountain, having done no work on her vehicle, charged her tens of thousands of dollars for storage of the vehicle. And I started doing some research on Iron Mountain Collision, and I found that it's owned by a guy by the name of Kevin Rowley, who apparently, from what I've found, at least two body repair shops that he owns up in the Fort Collins, Loveland area. And in just a very brief period of time, I've uncovered 3 active civil cases in the Larimer County District Court. I read those complaints, and they all seem to be carbon copies of each other.
They're charging you hundreds of thousands?
There are some that there's one pickup truck that was in, and no repairs were done, and they charged that customer approximately $50,000 for storage on that truck, and the customer's insurance company took them to district court. But I have, I've written down at least 3 cases, but it gets darker than that. It turns out, if this is the same Kevin Rowley, there was another Kevin Rowley up in Loveland who got busted for. He got busted with about 1,200 pounds of marijuana in a couple of warehouses over there, and this was a case from 2019 or 2020.
Yeah.
And I looked up the details on that. The birth date on that Kevin Rowley kind of matches what I would expect to see on this Kevin Rowley.
I don't think the marijuana. I mean, I know it's a crime.
Oh no, but he's still on probation.
Okay.
And so I reached out to.
But it doesn't. I'm more concerned about how he screwed people.
Oh well, it appears to be a pattern. Right, so these complaints all look like carbon copies of each other to me.
Okay, where he takes a car, doesn't do anything, and charges storage.
Tens of thousands of dollars, and then he keeps the car.
Like then he keeps the car.
Yeah, that's what he did. Allegedly, that's what he did with Sage's car. So she doesn't know where the car is. They won't return it to her, and that's what precipitated her call. But this seems to be a pattern of behavior.
Doesn't that sound like Mark? Doesn't that sound almost identical to 44th Auto? I mean,
yep. Take it, store it, don't do any work, take some money up front, never give it back. It's the MO.
Is your camera off or is it still on?
No, I killed it.
Oh, okay. All right. So here's the deal. I mean, this is a problem that we had with 44th Auto, and whatever that guy's name was, it's like a bad dream. And this is the new player, and he's basically delaying repairs. When people get frustrated and want their car back, he invokes thousands and thousands of dollars in storage, which makes them, and then he takes the car.
Based on what I've read on the court filings so far, that's what's been going on. And so, we were able to find several law firms that have very recent experience suing Kevin Rowley's.
Are there any judgments against him?
I haven't gotten that far. I haven't been able to see how these cases were resolved. They're very recent. So 2 of them were filed in the spring.
Is it Kevin Rowley?
Kevin Rowley.
Rowley?
That's correct.
Okay.
And so I did reach out to the district attorney to get a copy of the terms and conditions of his probation to see if this might be a violation of his probation, and perhaps
have they commented to us?
No, not yet. It was only yesterday that I reached out to the DA. I also reached out to the police department to get a copy of his booking photo just so that I can compare his videos. But
I'd like to get a
Kevin
copy of that.
Rowley,
I want to put it on the sleeves.
Yeah, he runs a very successful TikTok channel with several 100,000 followers.
Is it the same guy?
Yeah, he talks about how he beats up the insurance companies for to pay for damaged cars that are turned into his custody.
You mean like does he mean beats them up for the consumer, like he's a good guy?
Well, it sounds like he beats them up for himself. I mean, in these court filings, I've read that he's collected $50,000 in insurance payments from one of these.
Wait. He literally is on TikTok. Talk. Hold on. Let me get rid of that sound. I was on TikTok. That's what you heard.
Okay.
So what is he under? Kevin Rowley?
I don't know. It was Sage who uncovered his. So Sage, if she's listening, it would be great if you can send Tom and me a link to his TikTok channel.
Kevin Rowley here.
So it is a sordid affair, and the more I
Kevin Rowley, this one has 9 followers.
The one we're talking about has a couple 100,000 followers.
Okay. Well.
So I did submit. I sent in 4 requests for comment.
Oh, there he is, Iron Mountain. Let's see what he's got there. So it's Kevin Rowley, Iron Mountain, and
Iron Mountain Collision,
and he gets. So on one view, he had 350,000. On another, he has 59,000. On one, he had 1 million. So this is Kevin Rowley. Let's give a listen to this. This is Kevin Rowley. Hold on.
Here at Iron Mountain, we have the Chevy Z71. It came in, it was hit by a plow truck. Well, guess what? They were sent to the preferred shop. And I know this is going to be a real shocker, but they wrote an estimate up for this customer for $3,300. You can't fix the bed for that. Not only
So
that,
there's nothing wrong with what he's
just
saying.
must
I mean,
have a broken back.
So these
Standing
posts.
2 seconds to look over and see this cab corner has got a hole punched in it.
So he's talking about the ridiculousness of insurance companies, and I'm going to like that one. But I don't know. I don't think.
But if he would,
I don't think he talks. Let me just see what he. Okay, keep.
Yeah, if he would own, there's nothing wrong with that. With what he says in those particular videos, it's the follow-up that's missing. This is how he trolls for potential customers. And then there's this pattern of activity that I've been able to find where he allegedly does not do the repairs, charges many tens of thousands of dollars in so-called storage fees, and then the customers are left without their car, repaired or not. I mean, in one of these cases, I saw they also had to file for a replevin action. Just to get their wrecked car back from him.
Okay, so in any case, we're going to keep looking into this, people. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage.
Police are out with one crash on the drive right now. It's going to be at the very end of the ramp, eastbound 6th Avenue, exiting to Indiana. So it's not going to be impacting the highway at all. 6th Avenue actually looks pretty good out there. It's Indiana where we're seeing those delays, both north and southbound there, right under the bridge. That's the one big hiccup on the drive. Most of our highways around town wide open. We are seeing a little bit of slowing. Westbound 270 here approaching Vasquez to York. Those eastbound lanes look good, and everywhere else we are up to speed. Denver weather for today, mostly sunny skies, high up around 58. We're getting there. It's 51 degrees in downtown Denver. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Aaron O'Neill, 630 KHOW.
Macy's Backstage has amazing deals on everything you need to refresh your wardrobe and home for fall. Get low prices every day on unique finds at Macy's Backstage today. Find a location near you at macysbackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily.
Vestera Turnkey is a system for investing in real estate, becoming a landlord, and having the hassle taken out of it by Barry Miller and his team at Vestera Turnkey. Vestera, they do the research on where to buy and when to buy and how long to hold and when to sell, and they do it all for you, along with a management company that takes care of the day-to-day rentals and manages all of that. You are not charged any exorbitant fees. You get 30 to 80% return on your money, sometimes doubling your money in as little as 2 years. Vestera Turnkey, it's a company I know and trust. You ought to check them out. 303-888-3788, 888-3788.
Tom, one of these days, I'd like to have a conversation about how you get sued and what I should avoid saying or doing to minimize me and you both getting sued. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
I'd love to hear about some of these cases.
You know, here's the thing.
Kelly, I called that impatient Caitlin, so she won't be calling into the studio anymore.
We deal with a lot of 4x4 vehicles, and usually what comes in here Kevin here at Iron Mountain, we deal with a lot of... Kevin here at Iron Mountain, we have this F-250. You can clearly see this thing was in a terrible accident. We wrote it up already, and it's clearly a total loss. So the insurance company wants us to send them pictures. Well, this is a total waste of my customer's time and our time. They need to get one of their claims handlers out here and actually take a look at what's wrong with this truck, because I guarantee you we're going to send these photos over to them, and they're going to send aftermarket doors, fix the bed. Here at Iron Mountain, I don't make this up. This vehicle, as you can see, was in a very severe car accident. Thank God she got out and walked away from it. But here's the kicker. Snake Farm literally got a hold of her.
Time, big time. I mean, some of these have millions of hits.
Really a matter of life and death for the people of North Carolina. So, my name's Jonathan Howard. I'm a member of the Florida State Guard Special Missions Unit, and I'm also up here with Aerial Recovery, a nonprofit.
It does sound like they hate insurance companies as much as I do. I mean, are we? Let me ask you something. The people that are suing them, were their insurance fucking them?
No. One pickup truck went in for repairs, and the insurance company owed $49,000 in payments to Iron Mountain Collision. And the suit alleges that Iron Mountain did absolutely no work and kept the truck and kept the money.
Do you have his email? Is it on that one you sent him?
I sent it to his employees and through his website.
What's that? I think that you gave me that. I think you gave it to me.
10 seconds here, guys.
Auto accident? Get the right lawyer on your side. Search for Attorney John Fuller.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Troy has a comment on Amendment 127. Now, I'm not sure what he's talking about, 127. Looking it up. Go ahead, Troy.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
yeah,
sir.
Tom,
Yes, sir.
Troy.
Yeah.
So 127, Colorado Proposition 127 is the proposition to prohibit the hunting of mountain lions, bobcats, and lynx.
I got it. Prohibit trophy hunting is how they title it, which sounds, oh, yeah, that's good.
Right. So in the state of Colorado, so I'm a hunter ed instructor. In the state of Colorado, it is already prohibited to hunt any wildlife as for trophy hunting. So when you hunt wildlife in the state of Colorado, you're required to consume the meat. So the biggest problem with 127 is how they have, skewed the ballot.
Well, it basically says it prohibits the intentional killing, wounding, pursuing, entrapping, or discharging a weapon, blah, 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 on a lion, lynx, bobcat, creating 8 exceptions. Protection of life, human life, property, and livestock. What's wrong with that?
Well, so that's already allowed. So the difference is that the way that
what is
so
the
this was a
difference?
ballot initiative that was this was a ballot initiative that was written by the state, and what they're throwing out there is they're saying we're going to stop all hunting of the mountain lion because they're saying that it's
now, how does it differ? Listen. I don't trust the government. I don't trust anybody like that when it comes to initiatives. What I need to know is this. Why did they even need it? If you're saying, and why are you upset with it? Because if it's already prohibited, the trophy hunting already, and it's already allowed for protection of life, property, and livestock, then why do they need this additional one?
Yeah, so what they're trying to do is so currently the management of wildlife is managed by the Colorado Parks and Wildlife. This would put a total prohibition on any kind of hunting. So the Colorado Parks
and Wildlife it doesn't say that, though. It doesn't say they're going to. Go ahead.
Finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me finish. The way that Colorado Parks and Wildlife manage wildlife is they inventory the number of wildlife that are in the area and what the habitat can support. So they say, okay, well, there's 20 mountain lions in this area. The habitat can only support 15. We're going to issue a license to hunt 5 of those mountain lions that the habitat cannot support. So this initiative would bar the Colorado Parks and Wildlife from issuing those licenses to manage the wildlife. So then the only way that you would be able to shoot a mountain lion is if it was destroying your livestock or if it was...
Okay. I get what you're saying. But
okay.
What is... I got to take this break. Hold on a second. Just hang on. I'm Tom Martino. We got more coming up.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage.
It's easy driving throughout the Denver Metro before we hit that 1 o'clock hour. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town. The same goes for I-70 east and westbound, flowing free from the foothills to DIA and back again. South of there, some good news on I-225 southbound. We were seeing some congestion just before Parker Road. Looks like that's all cleared up. I-225 northbound, easy driving as well. North of there to Commerce City, I-270 east and westbound, flowing free, as well as I-76 east and westbound. Fox 31, pinpoint weather. Mostly sunny skies for Halloween, a high of 58, overnight low of 30. Mostly sunny tomorrow as well with a high of 61. Saturday, high 65. The current temperature in Denver is 55 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Macy's Backstage has amazing deals on everything you need to refresh your wardrobe and home for fall. Get low prices every day on unique finds at Macy's Backstage today. Find a location near you at macysbackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily.
Sheridan Auto Tech is there to help you with major maintenance, major repairs, or even minor issues. In fact, they'll take a quick look at your car free of charge if you want to drive by, or give them a call to diagnose something quickly. Or if you need a pre-buy inspection on a used car, it's $120. They also do electrical issues. They have value. They have honesty, they have integrity, longevity, everything you want in a shop. 303-455-7242, 455-7242. They're on Colfax west of Wadsworth. That's SheridanAutoTech.com. Hey, people are always looking for alternatives to the stock market. If you're getting near retirement and you want to convert what you've accumulated in a qualified plan or in savings or in a stock account, you may want to consider a fixed indexed annuity. Our friends at mymoneymyway.com do that. They help you plan for an annuity that will give you income for life and a predictable rate of return with a guarantee of no loss. If you're interested in this, that is mymoneymyway.com, 303-779-6600. is this? Am I tired of hearing about election shit? You know,
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show.
okay, I'm
These
here.
guys are really clever.
What's that, Doc?
The gun right people.
Yeah, the gun. Yeah.
They buy time on a
Oh,
show.
Mark is back or not?
Advertises.
No, he's off.
Home improvements. So they have their target audience without having to pay Tom to be on the referral list.
So they're doing home improvements.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, done right is home improvements.
Right.
So
So they're advertising on that.
yeah, but I'm saying, a large portion of our audience is interested in home improvements. That's
No,
why we have.
he wanted
So
us
they're
to
getting
call
the
his
benefit of
attorney.
a target audience without having to pay to be on the referral list.
Well, that's smart, isn't it?
It is smart.
Oh my God. Every time I hear that, I just.
Oh,
10 seconds.
Liberal, unhinged, left lunatic, unstable, incompetent.
This election, who's going to be president?
Remember this.
Your voice, your vote. 630 KHOW.
I want to go back to Troy. I'm Tom Martino. Man, in that short amount of time that you talked about this, Troy, I've gotten at least 9 texts, and about 5 of them say vote it down, and 4 of them say it's good for the environment. But the ones that say vote it down say it is a sneaky way to try to get a ban on cat hunting. Is that it?
Yeah. So mountain lions consume approximately 1 deer per week per adult lion, and there are approximately 4,000 mountain lions in the state. So right now, the Colorado Parks and Wildlife try to manage that number to stay at about 4,000 by issuing hunting licenses for the mountain lions.
Okay.
So if this passes, then Colorado Parks and Wildlife will not be able to issue those hunting licenses.
Okay, so you're saying they will no longer be able to cull the herd because of, I don't know if you call it a herd, but cull the population because of management reasons. It will only be to protect livestock and life.
Correct. So,
and do you think so you're saying it's basically a sneaky ban on all hunting of cats no matter what?
Correct.
But here's what I want to know. The people behind the initiative, don't they know what you're saying? If what you're saying is true, don't they know that you have to regulate the population of cats, or you're going to have too much in the elk population?
No, what they're trying to do is they're trying to do what they did in California. So it's called the Californication of Colorado. So anything that California does.
Yeah, but why? You said that the lions, the cats, help control the population of deer and elk, right?
Well, they do. And that's the way it's been for years. But Colorado Parks and Wildlife manages the control of the lions because the lions are the apex predator.
No, I get that. So my question, sir, I have a very simple question, and that is, if you don't let people hunt them anymore, won't that, by natural logic, increase the elk population? Oh, I mean, decrease. I'm sorry. I'm confused.
Yeah.
Do away. That's what I meant. Do away practically with the. Won't it hurt the state even more?
Oh yeah, because Colorado, we've got guys that are coming from Texas all over the.
No. That's right. They want to keep the population balanced with the elk and deer, and I think that what you're saying is true, and it would wreak havoc on the population. It would take away the other sport. In other words, it would also decrease the hunting of deer and elk because they would be eaten by the lions. I mean, they're trying to control hunting in general.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis.
What's wrong with what? I'm sorry.
What's wrong with having less deer then? It's not like the deer population is decimated. Just slightly fewer deer.
Well, if they eat 4,000
Tom Martino Show.
4,000 a week, that's what they're eating now, 4,000 a week. How many do we have, for God's? I know nothing about this shit.
Just a shotgun season.
Right. What's your name? All right, hang on for me.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
I told Ronnie, the guy with the 20-year-old furnace, to just call back to HomeSmart because he spends $108 a month for that service, and to get a supervisor out there, a skinny guy, to just go out there and replace the igniter. They're obligated to repair it. He spends over $1,000 a year.
I know it. Why are they not wanting to repair it?
Because they're getting some guy out there that's lazy, probably a heavy-set person that doesn't want to go in that crawl space.
So what what do they say?
They said they can't get the ignite. The guy, two of them said they can't crawl back to service it because it's too far away in the crawl space. And then another person said the part was no longer available, but that's not true. So I just told him to call back and talk to a supervisor, XL HomeSmart. I mean, he pays for it, pays for the service. He should get some service out of him. cross that out.
Why?
She called twice and she was demanding. Kelly came out, so I just went out and called her. She's a bitch. She was demanding, so.
Kelly said don't bother with her?
Well, she says, would you guys do
And they all
something?
died.
I called her. Oh, she wants a copy of the warrant.
Drug addiction.
Oh, okay.
So I took care of it.
All right.
Now they're fighting each
So I just did it.
and the one out of state died, and his trustee got
I'm
pulled.
getting caught up
That's
anyway.
the most complicated story.
Okay, thanks for calling. Really appreciate your input. Okay. All right. Bye. Oh my God. Did you?
Just be patient. Send me an email.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show. I'm not
10
sure.
seconds,
I
guys.
don't actually plan the show.
Win. That's win. Enter it now at khow.com. Inflation salvation on 630 KHOW.
Yeah. Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, make your life a little easier. I'm going to go to the phones. We have also with us, we have Brooke. with us, Brooke White from redrocksrs.com. I got a couple texts there. Steve wants a comment. So many people are commenting on 127. Now, it's Proposition 127, and I don't think I've had as many texts in a short amount of time ever as I had about this issue. I mean, in a short amount of time. I said I had like 8 of them or 9 of them. I have like 23 of them right now. 23 texts or emails or texts or comments on this about 127, Proposition 127, prohibiting bobcat, lynx, and mountain lion hunting, they said, for trophies. But what somebody says is it's a sneaky way to prohibit all hunting of those animals because you're only allowed to hunt them for protection of livestock or your life or property, which means in all other cases, you wouldn't be able to hunt them. And they're saying right now a certain amount of hunting is allowed when the population gets too big. Wildlife controls it in order not to exhaust or deplenish the deer population or the elk population. And again, if you let cats go and not have that culling of the population, it's going to wreak havoc on the rest of the ecosystem. That's what the people against it are saying. The people who are for it, they say, are secretly trying to ban hunting eventually, where not only will there be a bunch of mountain lions and cats and all that, but there won't be enough deer to hunt to begin with, or elk. Steve, what is your comment?
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, you presented that very well. Those are the two sides. And this goes back to the buzzword of trophy hunting is the same thing the left uses in assault weapons.
Right.
They're not applicable terms in either case. This is conservation and environmentalism gone nuts. And we just had the biggest disaster. We're in the middle of it still, where Colorado Parks and Wildlife and even the left, the eco-left, is admitting that the wolf reintroduction is a total disaster. What you have, and you explained it on one side, is you have environmental ideologists who want ultimately, yes, to ban all hunting. Colorado is one of the few states that has written into its constitution that you can't trap animals. And I'm not a big trap fan, but there are certain cases like living down here in Douglas County along the Plum Creek watershed, both Plum Creek East and West Plum Creek, beavers have gone wild and people have to take it into their own hands to cut down some of their dams from time to time and take the animals out because they destroy property. I don't know how to more clearly say this, but we have scientists, and your previous caller before the break said it very well, and I think you were getting it. We have scientists. These are people that have gone to school and college and work in the field every single day to determine what the carrying capacity is for certain animals. For example, bear. The holding capacity for the state of Colorado has been established for many years now, and it's around 12,000 animals. We have over 22,000 bears. And this isn't Colorado Parks and Wildlife fault, and it's not even the eco-left's fault. We just have fewer hunters now. But we have a bear population that has gone wild. So maybe you can derive out of my rambling rant here is that you can't let the eco-left run these things. It has to be done on science.
Well, that's pretty logical. That's pretty logical if you want an ecosystem that's balanced, obviously. I mean, we would all love everything to live in peace and harmony forever, but I mean, it just doesn't work that way.
Correct. And it even goes down to the signage when you go into the state forests and the national forests. It used to be you would go into, let's say outside of Sedalia, up into Deckers. It's the Pike National Forest. All of those signs and markers showing the boundary of entering the national forest used to say land of many uses. That was taken away many years ago. They don't say that anymore because it's not the land of many uses. It is the land of conservation, uber alles, over management. The left does not want management. They want
You know what's really fun?
conservation.
You know what's really funny, Steve? The left actually coined a phrase called believe the science. And
I know.
And during COVID, and by the way, climate change and every other thing that they attack, the last thing they do is believe the science. And in fact,
it's gaslighting.
And in fact,
psychological and political
it's all emotion. It's emotion versus science. They should have yard signs that say, believe your emotions. Because when it comes to science, they don't follow science because they just don't. And what's amazing to me is that's become a battle cry to them. Believe the science.
I applaud you for having the bravery to say those words.
Well, it's true. I don't work for 9 News. I can talk truth. I mean, listen, it's just true. You can't run life on emotion. By the way, I mean that for everything, including faith, including every aspect of your life. Don't let just emotion run what you do. I mean, look, I don't want to get into each and every detail, but if you think about it, Steve, it all comes down to people following emotion first and not facts and not science. They don't follow
Best
it.
conversation of the day on your program.
Now, Steve, I want to explain something else that is going to get me canceled, and that's this. There is a 4 million, or is it 400? I think it's a 4 million year fossil record that they examined in ice and stone and sedimentary layers to find the atmospheric conditions, temperatures, and life over a 4 million year period. And they found the same exact climatic cycles happened millions of years ago. There was not a car there was not even a car thought of, and not a factory, nothing. Now, I'm not saying the earth is not going through cycles. It is. It is going through cycles, and it will continue to go through cycles. And that 4 million year study proved that we go through cycles. Look it up. And here's what's amazing about that. We can't change it. Now, don't get me wrong. We should be stewards of our earth. We should scientifically control animal herds. We should scientifically control emissions when we can and where we can to a point. But we can't control volcanoes. We can't control the main source of climate change. And the sources we can control amount to literally less than a thimble in all of the oceans of the world. That is the volume, the actual volume of gases that we emit compared to what the volume is of our atmosphere. But people do not want to look at facts. Their emotions blind them. And then here's another famous thing they say. If you don't let emotion blind you, do you know what they call you? Hateful. It's no longer disagreeing. You're hateful. Why are you hateful? Because you disagree with something and you have good reason to? It all sucks. Anyway, thanks for calling. You got me pissed off. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. You know what he's going to do for you? A complete market valuation of your home for the asking. All you have to do is ask, what will my house sell for? It's free. It's comprehensive. That's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. 303-920-1622.
There are massive changes in health insurance this year. That's why you need certified experts on your side. You need Integra Insurance. They've helped me for years and can help you too. They look at everything available to you on and off the exchange and get you the best options for tax credits and subsidies. They also help you with everything Medicare. Let Integra make your health insurance shopping simple and smart. IntegraInsurance.com. 303-466-5500. 466-5500. John Fuller is a personal injury attorney. I hope you never need him, but you'll be happy he's there when you do, because if you get into an accident and you have any questions, and you're loaded with questions, even if you're not sure how far it's going to go, you have questions, John Fuller invites your calls. He'll answer you, tell you what he thinks that case is worth, the sources to collect, and your next steps. If you decide to hire him, you still don't put out any money. It's on a percentage fee basis. Look up John Fuller, F-U-L-L-E-R. He's a personal injury attorney in Denver, and you can always call him. And it's the only firm where you get to talk to the attorney before you hire him, and after you hire him, you get his cell phone number. It's 303-597-4500, 597-4500. Damn it, I had a report. I'm looking for that damn report. 4 million year report. Where is it? Damn it. I don't see it here. And I had it put away on purpose.
You want another cracker, Doc?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
There was. Damn it, where can I find it? 485 million. That's okay. That's it.
Oh, that was spicy. What? I said that was spicy.
There it is.
Oh.
500 million years.
I'm not big on spicy.
You're gonna.
Okay.
This will blow you away.
Oh, Doc, it's spicy. Ooh. I'm sweaty.
$485 million. I said 4 million. Oh my God. This is the most amazing study in the fucking world. How do I get a copy of this son of a bitch? Do they have a place to download it? Come on, you assholes. Why wouldn't you let me have it?
Hello, this is Bo.
What?
Oh,
Doc, this study is the most amazing study you have ever wanted to read in your life. Oh my God. Oh man. Yeah, I don't like a lot of cream, but yeah, one sweet and low. If you could dump that, man, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it because I was going to run up there. Hey, man, where are we? This seems like a long time. Hello?
You talking to us?
I just wondered if you're still alive and well.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I don't know where Mark is. Hadn't heard from him in a while.
He left. He said he was sick and tired of you. And I'm sorry about that, but that's what he said. I'm sick and tired of, what do you say? I'm sick and tired of that piece. Never mind. I don't want to get into it.
Did he mean you or me, Shannon?
No, not Shannon. That's
10 seconds.
Oh, it's Dragon. No wonder.
Fiduciary Advisors, TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station. Online at khow.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Now listen. I want you to listen to this, okay? I want you to listen. I looked up this study, okay? And in a landmark study, scientists discovered just how much the Earth's climate has changed in nearly 500 million years. The new research shows that the Earth's climate has never been stable over more than a few thousand years. They went back, it gets so technical, but they went back into the fossil record, and it went back to sea levels, and it went back to some kind of fossil records that show wildfires, tornadoes, earthquakes, volcanoes. They have gone back studying prehistoric climates for decades. They produced reliable, comprehensive views of the Earth's surface. Now, how they did it, you're just going to have to read it because I'm doing this live, okay? They have a robust and reproducible curve gain based on what they found with estimated prehistoric temperatures. And they talk about oxygen isotopes in prehistoric rock layers and fossils and trapped samplings of the air. Dozens of paleoclimate community in the community built a database of 150,000 estimates and put them all together into a comprehensive study.
Tom, was it ice cores they were using?
That was part of it, but also regular other fossils. Now, it said that the results covered Earth's temperatures over 485 million years. Okay? And it said that basically that the Earth has been very, very unstable. Climate has been very, very unstable. And the Earth went through continual periods of increasing average temperatures to decreasing average temperatures. And in fact, they even quoted from 51 degrees to, oh, damn, it's so hard to do this when you're doing this live, right? But all I have to tell you is this. How can you ever say that the period of time from our industrial age till now had any significant impact? You're all a bunch of fearmongers. Now, don't cancel me saying I don't care about the Earth. Of course I do. We should be good stewards of our planet and of our Earth and our atmosphere. But for God's sakes, average temperature spanned from 51.8 degrees Fahrenheit to 96.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, how the hell is that going to work with all you climate fearmongers? And the Church of Climate Change. If for the Church of Climate Change, this should be your holy scriptures, but it's not. Why? Because as with most issues today, people deal with emotion and not facts. Emotion and not facts. Or politics and not facts. And then they have the nerve to say, well, you're hateful. Hateful. Hate. God almighty. Hate has become the bullet. You're hateful. You're hateful. Bang, bang, you're hateful. No, I'm not. I just don't want to see 6'4" men say that they're a woman with a penis and get led into a woman's prison where they rape inmates. Boy, that's pretty damn hateful of me, isn't it? And I don't want to see my teenage daughter pummeled in high school sports and never have a chance. I don't want to see our lives significantly changed over a fear of a climate cycle that's been going on for 485 million years. Yet I consider myself an environmentalist. I consider myself very liberal in some areas. I consider myself very conservative in some areas. And I have to tell you something. No, we don't all come in one flavor, shape, or size, for God's sakes, and we shouldn't. And one thing is for sure. One thing is for absolutely sure. Not 1 ounce of hate rules what I think about. It is based on fact and figures, not just emotion. Emotion plays into it in some way, but you know what? I am so sick and tired. This study blows the hell out of any climate theory in the entire universe. Look in Smithsonian magazine. That's one of them. Smithsonian has it. And you can also find it in Smithsonian's the biggest one, but you'll find it at science.org. A recent study titled A 485 Million Year History of the Earth's Surface Temperature offers a comprehensive reconstruction of the Earth's climate over the past 485 million years. The research, published in Science in September 2024 and co-led by the Smithsonian Institution and the University of Arizona. The study combines fossil records and climate models to provide detailed insights into historic fluctuations and climatic change. And guess what they found? There was never a period more than a few thousand years of stability. And guess what? For a big part of this 485 million years, we didn't have cars. We didn't have cow farts. What the hell is going on? How dare these people, how dare they come out with a study like this? Did I take the 15 break or am I going crazy?
Yeah, you're good.
I am good. I want to go to the phones. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Wong. What's happening?
Hey, Tom. You hear me?
I sure can, Wong. What's going on?
Yeah, I have Internet with Comcast Xfinity for since 2018 to now.
Okay.
And when I start, it took me $55 a month.
Yeah.
They keep growing every year. Now it go to 90. And they said they just get from my credit card without I authorize or anything. And I called them and they said, look at...
Now, wait a minute, Wong. Are you complaining because the service has increased over the years?
Right.
Okay. So why don't you change to another service?
No. Here's the point, Tom.
Okay.
8 year, from 6 years, they charged me $1,600. And I ignored and I didn't know how fast it is. So they said because I have the super fast speed.
Okay.
But actually, the modem they give me, I look it up now and I run test it only 300 meg. So I didn't get the service what they.
Okay, so Wong, how many years do you claim you were being overcharged because you were not getting the modem to extract the service you were paying for?
Right. From 2018 to now. Just last couple of months I started looking into that.
And do they acknowledge this? Are they willing to make an adjustment?
No, they don't.
Why?
Because I request to upgrade my modem and so on and so forth. But currently my modem, till I look at my modem, it can only run maximum 300 meg.
Okay, and how much were you paying? Hold on, bro. How much were you paying for?
Right now, I pay last 2 months. I pay $90-something, and then I talked to them.
No. Here's what Wong. Hold on. You said your modem will only support 300 rate, right?
Right.
Okay. And that's, hold on. And how much of a rate were you paying for? How many MIPS were you paying for?
Right now, I paying for 800 MIP.
Okay. Got it. I get it. So if you were paying for 800 MIPS all these years, but you were never able to use it, why did they mismatch your service with your modem all these years?
Right, exactly. They just say...
Wong, did you ask them why they mismatched your service with your modem?
Right. And the guy just saying, oh, we send this person out, this person out. But I didn't know anything about that.
No. I do believe they should do some kind of an adjustment for you. I think you have a good case here.
Say that you get up to 800, so in that 300
and what?
range,
Okay, and
there.
by the way, what's the initials of that service? Is it MPS? Is it, what is it? No.
Megabits per second, MPBS.
MPBS?
Yeah, MPBS.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So...
Mega. Okay. Well, anyway. So listen. Here's what I want to say. I want to take your case. I want Deputy D to call over there on Xfinity. Okay. What were you going to say, D?
Wong, what do you use this modem for?
What do you use the broadband?
Yeah.
for?
What do you use your internet for?
I just do the internet for watching TV and do some search and looking for things, like YouTube and things like that.
Okay.
And I didn't know how fast it is.
So have you experienced any problems watching TV and YouTube and internet shows?
Yeah, you're saying, but he could have had a plan with much lower speeds.
Yeah, I'm saying that he might have overpurchased the plan to begin with.
But if he did overpurchase it, they should have matched the modem.
But I didn't request to change the modem speed or anything because I didn't know. So
when did you first sign up for this?
2018.
No, he said he had this high speed since then. Is that when you signed up to begin with?
Right. I signed up in 2018.
Okay.
And I look on my billing from since to now, they charge me just going up 60, 70, 80, 90 now. So on together, they overcharge me $1,600.
Did you ask him for a refund?
You can go to, I would make that argument in small claims court. Did you ask him for a refund?
Yeah, I did. And I sent it to the executive office, and the guy and I called FCC, and I propagated the case, complained to FCC, and the FCC told me they just in the middle guy, they just try to talk to.
Take a break when you can.
Xfinity and me. But
okay, hold on. I got to take a break. Just hold on. I got to take a break. I want to give this to Deputy D, okay? We understand what your problem is. We do. And we do believe that they probably should do something. Hang on. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
This is Denver's.
Yeah, but wouldn't the argument be is that he's paying for the service up to?
But if he doesn't have a modem that'll go up to.
So?
Well,
still qualified, doesn't it?
Yeah, but he can never get up to 800.
Is that the smallest plan?
Metro, I-25, north and southbound.
I don't know. I'm just saying that there got to be that little legal loophole.
And down south through Castle Rock to Colorado Springs. Back to town on the south end at T25 north and southbound. Easy driving through Aurora. I-70 east and westbound, flowing free to and from DIA. Further north, I-270 east and westbound. Intended speeds, Highway 36. No complaints to the Boulder area. Fox 31, pinpoint weather. Highs in the upper 50s today. Mostly sunny skies. Overnight low of 30. Nice and chilly for our trick-or-treaters out there. The current temperature in Denver is 55 degrees with your impact traffic and weather. Mark Swan at 630 KHOW.
Stop overpaying for your cell phone plan.
Why would they send him a modem
unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on America's most dependable 5G network. Switch today.
I just think that he needs to downgrade his service anyway because he doesn't need the higher speed.
That's true, and he probably will. Gravina's has the greatest windows. That's what Larry used to say in his commercials. Gravina's got the greatest windows, and nobody beats Gravina's. Nobody. What he means by that is not just in value and the overall price, but the 50 lines of windows. Nobody has that many lines. Plus, he has multiple lines of doors and multiple brands of siding. Gravina's 950 West Evans. These guys are the original Gravina's from the dad. He started in 72, teaching Larry everything. Larry broke off in 88 on his own. His son now, Nick, is with him. And this is a great company and has the heritage most people wish for. If you're looking for windows, siding, doors, if you're looking for service, variety, and choice, then you want to look at GravinaWindows.com. GravinaWindows.com, 303-472-8462.
So instead of calling FCC, which I thought was comical, the PUC would probably be a better place to register a complaint about this. But I'll give him a call and I'll find out what he wants to do. Or, I'll find the documentation that he's referring to, I should say. Got it, Kama. Thank you.
This climate study is just freaking amazing when you read it.
Yeah, I've read about it. I didn't read this.
Now, I'm not sure. I mean, if you were part of the, if you're part of the climate change church or not.
You mean cult?
No, I mean Dimitri. I didn't actually poll him to see.
Church or cult?
That's true. It's such an amazing study. Who's looking at something that's laughing?
Doc is.
Jesus Christ, Doc. Give it a rest.
He wants to know what you're looking at, Tom.
Who wants to know?
Martino.
Oh, I'm just looking at YouTube.
I'm being quiet as usual.
I'm relatively on time. Is that possible? Huh? Oh my God, are we having slammed? Look at this participation I have. Oh my God. Hey, Dragon, have you seen? Are you there, Dragon?
Kind of curious about Wong too, because a lot of the stuff I do for the other job is similar to this. Hey, you just gotta make sure that your coaxial cable is plugged in all the way, screwed in tight.
Yeah.
If you're using the Wi-Fi, make sure that there are no walls or floors between you and the router, and just check how do you know your speed is what your speed is. You've gone to speedtest.net and figured that out, or are you just guessing? But still, what Dimitri says too is like, hey, if you're not cutting out,
Chopper just loves to talk, doesn't he?
Wrong plan.
Yeah. How did he get a wrench?
I don't know what that means. But he loves to talk.
Yes.
He overdoes it.
I hear you.
I don't think he has a life.
But it's a real big deal if you don't have that coax.
I don't think he has a life.
And screwed down tight.
Other than
you're
this
losing
show.
so much speed.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, they all got the wrenches back but us.
10 seconds, guys.
303-900-8986. 303-900-8986.
Auto accident? Find out what your case is worth. Search Attorney John Fuller. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. 713-8255, Red Rocks Roof and Solar. We got Brooke with us, Brooke White from Red Rocks. Okay, so on the people that buy solar, are they buying it for the environment? Are they buying it for the economy of it? What are they buying it for mostly when you talk to people? What do you find?
Almost always the economy. It's a
They want to save money.
Yep. And then the second behind that is mostly distrust of the grid. So having a backup power source in case something goes wrong. And then I would say third is environment. Environment's pretty low. Most of the folks I deal with are looking for those top two reasons.
Oh, okay. So they just want to save money.
Mm-hmm.
How long, somebody wants to know, truly, how long, if you have it installed correctly, will the solar system go without needing service?
Ooh.
Roughly. I mean, in your experience, what do you think? These components are pretty solid state. There's no moving parts, right?
Yeah, there's no moving parts. The solar panels themselves can last 30, 40, 50 years.
Right.
The inverter is going to need work maybe every 10 to 15 years.
That's nothing.
And then you might need a service tech to come out, like say the grid goes down or something wonky happens, just to reset your system. But typically they're pretty self-sufficient.
Do you run a service department?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We prefer services.
Yeah, that's cool. So if you have a system, even if they didn't put it in there, 303-704-2449. Man, I'm getting a lot of interesting texts as well. People about this. Man, did this mountain lion thing, holy crap. Did this mountain lion thing really, really hit a nerve? The bottom line and the consensus from the people I'm hearing from, they say that it's just a sneaky way to ban hunting or discourage hunting, not just of cats, but that by increasing the cat population and not allowing you to hunt them will decrease the other populations of animals, making it unattractive to go hunting. So it will eventually be a place where you don't hunt. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but they say that's the hidden agenda behind it. It'd be very interesting to see what happens with this proposition as we go on. And then there's another.
Tom, can we talk about 131?
Okay, so 131 is basically the establishing of an all-candidate primary and ranked choice. Is this a controversial topic? Now, see, personally, ranked choice voting doesn't concern me as much as it does other people, because I've always thought, years ago, I want to say this very quickly, years ago, when I was doing a consumer jury on Channel 4, meaning I would have products we would test, and we would have 5 products. And let's say that I would, at first, when I first started doing it, I said, okay, if I had a panel of 20, whoever got the most first place votes won. But then I realized, what if one got consistently number 2? Like people loved it, but it was number 2, but they varied on number 1. So what I did back then was I gave a certain number of points for first, a certain number of points for second, a certain number of points for third, and a certain number of points for fourth. The way I did that was how many others they beat out, and then I applied a formula. And that was ranked choice voting. So what it really did was it took the product that appeared in the top 3 the most, and it ranked it on a weighted score. And isn't that what this is doing? It's taking the candidates that appear in the top choices the most.
But don't you think it's going to lead to tyranny of the majority, Tom? If you're in a heavily Democratic area, I think there should be a choice between the parties rather than having 4 Democrats or else people voting for the worst candidate in the other party. so that they rigging the election so that if there's a candidate who's, let's say, way out on the right, and the Democrats are voting for him or her, they're going to have somebody who doesn't belong on the ballot and get no votes.
See, this is what I don't understand. I'm not going to pretend to understand this particular proposition. And I know a lot of conservatives are against it, and a lot of progressives are for it. Now, I just have to ask this. Does it work? Are you telling me, let's take a Senate race, and there's 6 people in it, and 4 of them are Democrat and 2 are Republican fighting. Now, normally the Republicans would just fight against the Republicans in the primary and the Democrats against the Democrats, right? Are you saying they would all be heaped into one voting?
That's exactly what 131 does.
So now,
the top 4. So if the top 4 just happen to be Democrats, you only have a Democrat on the ballot.
But is it okay? But which Democrat? If the top 4,
the top 4 vote getters
would be, you would have 4 candidates on the ballot,
and all would be Democrats in theory.
No, I get what you're saying for sure. Okay, so what if though? But isn't there a better? I don't know. Isn't there a better chance of you being in an election having ranked choice than not? Because if you don't have ranked choice, you're either in or out. Oh, but what you're saying is what you don't like is the conglomeration of the parties.
Right.
Correct.
The way it is now, you will have some Democrat and some Republican.
No, you're right.
You're one of each.
No,
so
you're right.
The ranked choices, you could possibly have either all Democrat.
Yeah, I
or
see that.
All Republican.
I see that, and you're right. It does have a bit of a majority. If the majority of voters are Democrat, they're going to vote for the choices that are Democrat. First, second, third, and fourth, and the ranked choice will mostly likely be whatever the majority party is. What if they had ranked choice voting, listen to this, on the Republican side versus Republican and Democrats versus Democrat, and then you take 2 from each?
Well, that's what the primaries do, Tom. If you have a Republican primary, you get the best Republican candidate. And
yeah, you kind of do. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. You know what? For the food choices and for the comparisons I was doing in consumer stuff, it worked. I don't know if it works this way because, as Dragon pointed out, you could end up with, a number of candidates from the same party running against each other.
That was my initial concern.
Yeah. No, I get it. All right, 303-713-TALK. I don't know why my camera went dead, but it did. I'll have to check that out. It's life. Things get weird at the end of the show. So, it's just crazy stuff. So I'm going to put up a test pattern. Anyway, 303-713-8255. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by PureTalk.com.
Easy driving throughout the Denver Metro, I-25 north and southbound. We're showing highway speeds through town as well as up north into the Fort Collins area and down south through Castle Rock to Colorado Springs. Back to town on the south end at T25 north and southbound. Easy driving through Aurora, I-70 east and westbound, flowing free to and from DIA. Further north, I-270 east and westbound, intended speeds. Highway 36, no complaints to the Boulder area. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, highs in the upper 50s today, mostly sunny skies, overnight low of 30. Nice and chilly for our trick-or-treaters out there. The current temperature in Denver is 55 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Stop overpaying for your cell phone plan. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on America's most dependable 5G network. Switch today. Just dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month with Pure Talk.
Right?
I guess it's my turn, and let's talk about something no one wants to talk about, but it happens, and that is being charged with a crime. And by the way, a DUI is a crime. Smoking weed's a crime when you drive. So here's the deal. Don't do it, right? Get a designated driver. But during the holidays, there are going to be people making mistakes, and they make a few mistakes. First, they try to calculate what they can drink or smoke and drive. The second mistake they make is they try to find an attorney at the last minute under pressure. The third mistake is paying a big retainer up front without even talking to him. Listen, Joe Lazzara works a different way. First and foremost, if you want to shop, you don't have to, because I did the shopping for you. I've known Joe for over 30 years. You can depend on Joe Lazzara. Second, he will represent you, but he'll give you free initial consultations always. Now get this, then a flat rate price depending on the offense. Lazzara, Lazzara, LazzaraLegal.com, 303-429-6200, 303-429-6200.
Introduce.
You were here by yourself last Friday. I checked
Yeah.
on YouTube. I should have came in, but
Man,
Well, check
slamming
with Suze
today.
tonight.
I will. Doc, that's a good idea. I'll just email her. Yeah. She's the only one that seems to know who comes in and who doesn't.
Right. Well, she sets that up. She's a she's a scheduler.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show. He doesn't have any recommendations online.
What do you got set up?
Well, I see
No,
my
they're just talking about it, but you can go to some of our other hosts.
Thanks for your
If
business.
you go to the KHOW website, I know that Ryan
The moment they
Schilling
start planning
has
out my solar system.
his
What's that?
amendments and his
What's
picks
that?
up there.
Oh, we're
So
just
does
talking about,
Mandy
like, for
Connell
my cottage.
on KOA, and so
I only
does
have my
Ross
phone.
Kaminsky.
'Cause, I mean, it's a
KOA.
fascinating resource. Endless amounts of energy.
And once
you know,
he helps
inexhaustible.
me with stuff on the computer.
And it seems
Okay.
like it's
I'm
getting
a,
Do you
a
have
more
a
finance
search
for
engine
my mortgage
Oh.
with a different
on your
company.
computer?
solar panels.
And so I had to scan stuff and send it
The
to them.
difference too, it depends on where you're at. It's
Okay.
usually cheaper to do a
So,
solar system
if
off grid
if
than
you
bring
go
power
to
to your
Safari
property too. If it's
on your
Whatever
iPad,
you-
So that's
you're gonna type in KHOW
and we
Denver,
don't do batteries, then we do a generator.
I don't have a printer. What do I
and
need
then
it
that
for?
will bring up our
I mean,
website.
if something is that important,
yeah.
that I have to have a printer.
And then you're
Whatever
gonna
it
go
is.
up on the left-hand side.
That's phenomenal.
There are
And I'll keep
three
you
horizontal lines, and that gives you the menu for the website.
It's incredible.
I would do that. Yeah. if I
You're
needed-
going
I mean,
to
they sound
click
like a
on
great
air.
resource. The only other thing too is I need to look
On
at the specs
air.
for the elevation.
Okay,
Where
and
your
then
cottage
you
is
can
located,
go
is it high
into
in the
any
mountains
of
or
our
is it
Oh, I don't
hosts
have a
I
cottage.
need it.
and
Planning to build
Ryan
little
Schilling
cottage.
is
know
up
where
there,
in
and so
Florida,
is
like in
Ross
the-
Like around the
Kaminsky,
Sedan.
and so is Mandy Connell, and they all have their picks.
So then, whatever they're
Oh,
using
yeah.
in town
We
is
used to go down there.
If you were talking
Okay,
about being,
no problem.
you know, up by
you.
Vale or
COVID.
those
Uh-huh.
higher
I
went to
elevations,
the
then
main
your
office.
battery selection gets a little bit more specific.
And then during COVID, they set up the system where one or two people went there, and they were, you know, separate offices,
So
and
you
they
can go
would
to
take the
Ryan's.
calls, and then they would farm them out to us,
Connect to the
so that everybody
grid?
didn't
To the
have
grid.
And it worked so
County may-
well.
you know,
that,
in some places the county requires it too.
So when I,
So
when I,
it just depends on where.
when I sign on.
You know, one of the
there's a
cutest things in
list
the world, my God, I
There
get
are
crazy with these little kids that come
they wanna give me
trick-or-treating.
of-
My wife and I have such a treat giving out candy.
It's very
Yeah?
different than
I
this.
think,
Will you send me some pictures?
huh?
Will you send me some pictures?
Oh my God, do you ever see the little pumpkins that dress up? I mean,
Yes!
do you-
Well, I'll be doing that tonight at Stephen
God.
Kimberly's.
It's
We're
like
going to
people-
do-
Stephanie, it's like, it's one of Stephanie's favorite times.
people
You
who
know,
get ripped off
I said,
by,
Steph, you know, and they all know her in the neighborhood, but
puppy scan.
God, one is cuter than the other. And the parents stand at the,
There's still, and you know, people have
kids come up. And some
a lot of
so
computer
tiny.
stuff where they get ripped off by people. They get
I'll be
something on
doing
the
tonight.
computer that comes up that you have a problem.
It's very
from
cute.
Microsoft,
We do it.
And they, you know, they dial the number and they let people take over their computer, which,
Yeah, it almost happened.
Keep all the lights off.
and once that happens,
We usually put like a
can't undo
bucket
it.
of candy.
you can tell them
front
how to
since we have
protect it
trick-or-treating
from happening.
Oh.
So we don't see the other.
Don't overdo it.
Impossible to undo.
Last
And then romance
year,
scams, know,
some
those are my
folks
favorite.
did.
Yeah, I
It was-
tell these-
but we
I
had
tell
enough
these
candy
people
that
like
it was
this.
fine. I mean, I'm kind of a candy hoarder.
You know, you're 80.
It was nice to get rid of.
So they go on clearance at the end of the season.
Yeah.
You fill out the cart at King Soopers.
Exactly. Like, the week after Easter, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun to go in our neighborhood.
So have some self-awareness.
The day after King Soopers will have.
10 seconds, guys.
I've seen it.
Democrat Adam Frisch and Christian Toto in studio breaking down his top picks for movies on Halloween. Trick or Treats, find out at 2 on 630 KHOW.
Sticky stuff? The chocolates.
Hi, Tom Martino. Oh, man, we're running out of time already. Red Rocks Roof and Solar. Don't forget, they're available. RedRocksRS.com. We're not done yet, though. And 303-704-2449. Just a note here. If you wrote to me, and many of you have, about Wave 8 Wealth Management, my company that I launched just this month. And I am getting back to each and every one of you. I promise you. You can text me directly at 747-999-5280. You can also call or text 303-771-HELP. 303-771-HELP, or just go to investwithmartino.com. My pledge is that your money's right along with mine with personal attention. We got more tomorrow. Save all your problems for me. See you guys. By the way, I did away with the echo, didn't I?
At Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of us.
Yeah, you too.
Oh, my God. We have. So I got rid of the echo. I figured out with that. It's like every day there's a new challenge. Okay, you two morons.